Alright, hello everyone and welcome to Zelda Speedruns 2! Today we have an Ocarina of Time Randomizer Standard Tournament Season 4. Winners Bracket Round 2 between What the Hell's Happened and Riley. On commentary today we have Jumbo69, VXR, and Yoshi. How are you three doing?
Doing well.
Good, pretty good.
I'm good.
You know, it's exciting to see all these races I've never seen before. You know, since I'm so new to the scene.
Damn it. How long is this gonna go on?
I don't know until Chimp changes my name back. Anyway,
yeah.
Do you want
What
me
the
to
hell?
change the name back? I think you have permissions for it. Or it might actually. Maybe not. Not sure. Anyway.
What the hell's in Riley? We've got a a Zora Sapphire start, I think. And I think we're also starting with Song of Storms. Which is a really interesting song to start with. Because it opens up a lot of those grottos early on. And if you like spawn in CAC as child, there could be a temptation if you want to make an aggressive play to just dip the well immediately.
Yeah, here's Zero well.
Looks like adult start as well.
Ah, okay, that's the one
Well,
piece
technically
of
it's
information I
tier
didn't
1,
see
but
before.
whatever.
Yeah. So it does let you still be a little more efficient on the way through as well. That's one of the big things with Storms is like those 3 non-bottom of the world checks are very easy to isolate. So this just lets you be a little more efficient and a little more thorough as you go.
That is
All right,
correct.
where are we dropping? Nice.
Alright.
Alright.
Hey,
Basically.
50 Skulls is dead, Icy Waters is dead, Deku Tree is foolish, and 30 Skulls is dead.
So go mode Kokiri Sword is what we're hearing, right?
Go mode Kokiri Sword for Stone Deku is what we're hearing.
Oh, please, no.
Alright, so no way the hero at Temple of Time. Both our runners gonna head over to Kakariko, which is a good play if you start as adult.
Right, yeah. No reason not to do this. Get the song, get those early checks out.
Tunic colors are
grabs-
very similar to each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I can't tell if it's just like the filter or, you know, the differences. I think they might have the exact same color.
I think Riley's is just like a bit murkier.
A little more pale.
Going to CAC early also gives you a chance to pull... I mean, the Kokiri Sword isn't as... Ooh.
And we are going to be zootering safely today.
Riley missed that jump there. That is going to cost them some time at the end, having to come back for Man on Roof.
Nice ones already.
Good bit of bait that you don't have to worry about later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that kind of a good item to show up immediately, so that way it's never in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Riley missed the jump there as well. That's...
Yeah, there might be a bit of nerves on Riley's end.
Yeah. Couple of little out of character errors so far.
And here we get Requiem from the windmill.
That's a very good song to get early. Gives you
I feel
access
like-
to Child Spirit.
I feel like you always want to see your songs that will chain into other songs, but Requiem in particular is like the best of those, right? It's the one that opens up the most.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then there's you have the option as adult. Your save warp is Temple of Time, so you can very quickly go back child. You could potentially save Requiem for child, so that, let's say you need time of day to get back into market. You can just play Requiem and boom, it's day again.
Yeah.
Or you could just play it immediately and hope for something like Minuet. It's an interesting case to see what runners do with early Requiem.
I hadn't even thought about that, honestly. My instinct was you want to play it early and just get your songs early, but actually, yeah, using it for the time of day is,
What was that?
Is that a
Looks like
stick?
I think it was a stick.
And because everyone thinks it's a stick, it might be the boomerang.
Oh,
Definitely a stick.
I'm pretty sure that's a stick.
There are too many
Definitely
brown
a
items in
stick.
Rando. This is why I have VC eyes.
At least it's not like, is this a bomb bag or a Deku nut?
Okay.
Those are always my favorite ones.
What the hell's his life just flashed before his eyes, getting hit by that fire back into the door? Man, Dampe just sniping our runners right now.
I was about to, without even thinking about it, be like, damn, Dampe's on fire right now, but it's like,
That's great. Very punny.
Hey, he's got a blue bee.
Not much from him.
Alright, I think Riley is going to play Requiem before he goes back child. And looks like What the Hell's is going to do the same thing. And that's... You can make a case for either play, but I think that playing Requiem as adult is slightly better than saving it.
He's going back into CAC.
Riley missed the jump earlier, I guess, so has to go and
Yeah, I
get
guess,
the
yeah.
man on roof.
Yeah. We started outside Temple of Time as adults. We don't know what the child spawn is yet. And there's the L.
Ooh, so that probably means that we're going to see our runners go child CAC at some point. And since you start with storms, we're probably going to see a bottom of the well earlier rather than later.
We have Zorth's Fountain Way of the Hero.
Fortunately, no weep skip allowed in this tournament, so they will need letter to access that. Riley's gonna go up trail here and peek this freestanding that What the Hell's did not peek.
Oh, that might be Rudo's letter.
That looks like a bottle.
That looked like a letter to me, although it's definitely the hardest thing to actually tell. No, we are getting a medallion check. I saw Forest Medallion Shadow Temple, so that's always fun.
Otherwise, I saw a pretty decent layout. I think I saw DC, DQ, Fire, Water, I think.
Water's a stone.
Ah, okay. Oh, Stone Water. Okay. Nothing in the Storm's Grotto. I guess we'll see what that bottle was right now. It looked like, from a distance, it had a piece of paper in it.
I thought it had some. It looked like more than just bottle, yeah. But nope.
Nope, just a red potion.
That's why I have VC eyes. Again.
Hard to tell on that one. Like, the worst thing is when you see the bottle on, like, the Colossus Arch, and you're just like, I just have to get that. Like...
Right.
So What the Hell's is probably going to go market. He has choices here. He has Lon Ranch, which is obviously a safe choice. He has another option to go to CAC first, and then go back to market and get the Skull Mask, and maybe test his save warp. And this way he can get the song in the graveyard at the same time. Maybe dip bottom of the well as well. We'll see what he elects to do.
Yeah, I feel like dipping bottom of the well when you've not even had a chance to go to Midos feels kind of aggressive, but well, what the hell isn't averse to aggressive plays, so
Yeah.
I feel
What
like
the
that's
hell-
actually one of the biggest divergences here is we're probably going to see at some point is obviously both of them are incredibly good players, and what the hell's for somebody who plays very aggressively is surprisingly efficient with his aggressive routing. But what the hell is more prone to skipping things or routing in like slightly peculiar checks, I guess. Whereas Riley is very thorough.
Thank you, ZeldaSpeedRuns, for the raid of 172 people.
Welcome, welcome, Raiders! So for those of you who are just joining us, we started as adult with the Azura Sapphire. Our starting song was Song of Storms, and we spawned right outside Temple of Time. So both our runners have done Kakariko, they played Requiem to get another song, and they're now both child. We have no items currently at all, just some songs.
Well, we got lens, so we can't use it.
Yeah, we have a lens that we can't use.
A couple of relatively useless items.
Welcome in, Raiders. Swapping in briefly here. Had interesting seed, also a season 4 brackets. No spoilers, please, in case anyone wants to watch, but it's certainly been a time. And yes, this is a Star Special.
Alright, so what the hell's elected to go to Lon Lon here, which is fine. What the hell's might want to do is there are so many chances for your save warp as child to be CAC. He might just elect. Oh, well, he got Nocturne.
A
Even
good song
better.
to have early.
Yeah.
So I think that what the hells will save warp here out of the back of the silo to test their spawn, and if it's yucky, they'll just play Nocturne.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, and also like,
Oh, nice spawn. And we're doing
Yeah.
chickens.
and of course,
Alright, I'm gonna pass this off here to George now. I set it up since George is also doing the earlier match, so have fun, everyone. I'm out. Enjoy the Star Special, whatever nonsense I rolled.
It's almost like I rolled a seed. Alright.
Yes, indeed. Your commands, chat commands are all up to date and whatnot, so enjoy yourselves.
alrighty. So, yeah, I was gonna say when you
Riverway
said
of the
about
hero.
oh wow. When you said about like the save quit being really likely to be in Kakariko, it's like even then it's even if it's not Kakariko, it's like okay, well, Kakiri Forest would be good. You take that as
Yeah.
well at that point.
Of
Like
course.
Yeah.
the worst one you would see at that point is probably Market, and even that's pretty good.
Yeah, especially when you got Nocturne. Then you know, like, okay, to get Skull Mask, all I gotta do is play Nocturne, do my thing, and then save warp.
Mm-hmm. Also, yeah, definitely worth noting here. This is not a gamble or anything in particular from Riley. I mentioned earlier, like, what the hell is a very aggressive player? Riley is a very thorough player. Riley is 100% in the belief that if you are confident in your play and you're in Kakariko as child during a day, you should do chickens 100% of the time. And this is not out the ordinary for him in the slightest.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is have an opportunity to do chickens early and lose a lot of time because chickens had something that you needed. There are situations where it makes sense to skip it, but very early on in the seed, you have no items. I think I agree with this philosophy that you should do chickens here.
We'll see if what the hell's happened decides to do chickens too.
Yeah, that's actually a more interesting call here. Is he going to play it more safe, or is he going to be more aggressive here? He's in the same situation.
Yep, he looks like he's doing chicken stew.
What is the payoff?
A bloopy.
Hey, Riley can afford Lost Woods Scrub now.
Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah, like what the hell's... Could be just doing the check on the way through, you know, it's early enough to do it, and it could be a case of knowing that Riley will do it. Either way, the safest thing to do is, yeah, do it yourself.
I mean, if you're gonna hand in the Keaton mask anyway, if you're gonna run all the way up there, might as well bring the chicken up with you.
Yeah.
Alright, so Riley is probably gonna run back to market after this. And I think we're gonna see the same from What the Hells, because they have a really good opportunity to pick up Skull Mask early.
Sorry, I just love the idea there that What the Hell's just picked up the chicken and threw it at Andrew after talking to her. It's like, she's like, I'm allergic to chickens, please help. And he's like, have chicken. Just...
She's allergic, why does she even own them? They just...
You know, you gotta make your money somehow, some way.
I just love the idea that she...
And the gate's so small that, you know, the chickens can just fly away.
Right, and
that's how they got. That's how they got, and they just went all over. And that's what happened. They just went all over CAC.
Right, and then you leave for 5 minutes and they're gone again. Like, you walk out, come back, and they've all just escaped again. It's just like, please help. And you're like, no, not again, no.
A nice little time save there for Riley. He did the Composer Grave and then save warp so that he would be further into CAC.
That's a good idea.
Get out? Yeah. So interesting, Riley deciding not to go into the well with ZL and Storms here, knowing that their save warp is in here, and well, we know that they're going to get Nocturne, so well is going to be very easy for these runners to route in whenever they feel like coming.
I think that makes sense on Riley's part. He's gonna want to go to Dampe at some point. He's going to end up picking up explosives at some point and go back to the well. Obviously, yes, your first explosives or whatever could be locked behind bottom of the well. Yes, you could never need to go back there. But you've not even checked Mido's house. Like, you want to get to Kakiri Forest first, and then you can start to worry, oh, what?
Yeah, uh-oh.
That's not happening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's happened to What the Hell's before, and that's how he learned how to get out of that.
Wow. That was interesting.
It cost him a stick, but I think that What the Hells will trade a stick for not moting there 100% of the
Yeah,
time.
because he wouldn't have been able to get back in. No Sun Song.
Okay, I have to address in chat there the will we see Bunnyhood comment. What the hell didn't even know that Bunnyhood increased your speed until earlier in this tournament, like in the bracket. It was Phoenix Feather versus Mr. Mario, and Mario picked up the Bunnyhood, and What the Hell's straight up said at the time, like, I didn't even know this was a thing. What the hell? Like, I had no clue this did this. And he was like, I don't think Phoenix is going to know either. And sure enough, Phoenix did not know either.
Alright, so What the Hell's, due to their shenanigans on the bridge, has good time of day to grab Richard here, which is, oddly enough, a very difficult check to route in S4, because you need it to be night, and the bridge to the market is closed at night.
Oh!
No, wow, a mirror shield. That's really nice. Still not really useful at this moment.
Well, it saves you money, because you no longer have to buy a shield, and are subject to the RNG discount. But at least that's not buried in deep stone water.
Interesting note. Yeah, what the hell's got the time of day here for downpay? Isn't gonna dip bottom of the well again. Okay. It's interesting.
Well-
Yeah, he's already been here for both downpay and chickens, but he's gonna have to come back through for bottom of the well.
Yeah, he has Nocturne, so it's very quick to get back here if he decides he wants to do the well. He's gonna find out his save warp is right next to him.
Yeah.
This gives him an opportunity to get some skulls early.
Yep.
Which 10 skulls is a much more important check in Season 4 than it was in Season 3, as Deku Tree is closed, so there are less available Sphere 0 checks. So all of the other ones increase in value, because they have a higher chance of having the first item that you need, per se.
Yeah, I think it was.
I'm only gonna grab one, though.
It's a pretty big jump as well. I think people looked at it mostly in regards to chickens specifically, but it was something like from 12 to 16% to pay out.
Another thing is that Deku Tree has, 3 skulls that you can easily get, but not when it's closed. You're not gonna be getting to Deku Tree very early enough too often.
Yeah, and in this particular seed, Deku is foolish. But obviously that isn't the case most of the time. Well, both River and Fountain are Way of the Hero, so it'll be very interesting to see, because you want to go to River because it's Way of the Hero and you can get 3 of those checks immediately. Not in logic currently, because we don't have hover boots, scale, or bombs, but it'll be interesting to see if the runners decide to put it off at all, to try and grab Ruto's letter before going up, because Fountain is Way of the Hero.
Right, the other thing is that, like,
Yeah.
right now they can't even get into River as child. Are you gonna
Right.
go there as adult when you started with storms? Or are you going to wait until you find explosives? Because, like, there's a potential that your first bomb bag is just in River. That could be the Way of the Hero.
Yeah.
But there's also a chance that it's something on frogs that you're going to isolate.
There was a River Way of the Hero hint in the graveyard.
Yeah, I don't think Riley has actually seen that hint. I don't think they have played Nocturne. They've used their save warp.
Right,
In
right,
order to
doesn't
get
know
the
yet,
tag.
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Alright, let's see if Mito's Bomb Factory is a thing again today.
Right, I was gonna say earlier, like, even on the, like, foolish Deku Tree note, it's like, okay, but there's still a reasonable chance you get bomb chews, and it's like, that would send you straight to River at this point, wouldn't it? Especially in, well, I guess especially in What the Hell shoes, potentially not in Riley's, but...
Oh, Mido's
No.
house is all junk today.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, it was a lot of money that What the Hell's couldn't hold.
Threw it all on the ground. Just took Mito's life savings and scattered it all over the floor.
City is their second foolish.
That's a really good foolish in,
I was
especially with
getting-
Child
yeah.
Goron City being as strong as it is in Season 4.
Yeah, that is actually an amazing one to find now. You know, it used to be that, like, you'd want to find something like Death Mountain Trail, Lost Woods. I know you can't now, but Hyrule Field. Goron City has become, like, the perfect foolish hint now.
Nothing else
Alright, so-
Skull Kids, so Frogs 2 is really the last thing Saria's song could be used for.
Could be logical forest access, but
That too.
we don't really care about that. Unless the seed puts Minuet there and there's some shenanigans going on.
That is the last skull hint, by the way. We've seen 30, 40, and 50 now.
Alright, so we know we won't be farming copious amounts of skulls this seed. Which I I don't think a Skull Seed would make it easier for either runner. I think What the Hells has the slight execution advantage, but I think that Riley is very, very good at Skull Seed, so I think it would balance each other out.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed it's not a Skull Seed, because it would have been really fun to watch these two doing a 1v1 on a Skull Seed, but
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be great either way, so I'm like, yeah, cool, we get a slightly faster race, hopefully.
I mean, to be honest, Skull Seeds generally, I feel like they make seeds slightly faster among top players because they know how to route their skulls efficiently, and it's basically a free item. Like here's where this item you need is.
Eternal Lurker, actually, with the random spawn points in Season 4, none of the songs can be in foolish locations.
Right, yeah. Outside of Season 4, it would be Serenade or Prelude, but in Season 4, it's none. It's a nice quirk of random spawn is treated as a form of entrance randomizer. And in entrance randomizer, your Serenade and Prelude can't be considered foolish because with the right settings, they could be your only access to those locations.
Alright, so Riley just kind of trailing What the Hells here. They're both kind of doing the same things.
It's interesting that, Riley had to double back to Kakariko earlier, and also went up to Death Mountain Trail. And was caught up quite a bit of that time, mostly with the routing in and around Kak, I think. Really paid out going for that save quit a little more aggressively.
Nice Goron tunic.
Seeing that tunic early is actually a little scary because it means that with the right set of items, it's more likely that will have to climb fire early.
I guess the flip side is, again, it's a little less likely you're being led astray by your hints. Your hints become a little more cruise control, for lack of a better term. You're not going to have to go to River to find a wallet to get your first tunic.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point I'm kind of really suspicious of that Sphere Zero grotto in Zora's River right now.
Yeah.
We don't really have much.
And it's Serenade.
That's actually a good song. It's
Oh, Bigoron's a magic leader!
Can we stop with the Bigoron in Season 4, please? Can we stop? Oh boy, that brings so many different dynamics into this race. Let's say you get the prescription really early, do you play for that? Do you play for the other magic?
See, I was about to say, oh, maybe they find the other one. We know they're not going to find the other one. That's not how it works. It's Shadow.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things is, if you have all the items to do Shadow, except magic, and you have the trade item, you just rush it. The second the magic is a big deal, you go for it, right?
If you have what you need.
Oh?
No Bolero right now, no
Oh,
Epona.
that was the hint of What the Hell's right earlier, wasn't it? The river there? Okay. Sorry, for a second I thought that was a third hint.
Yeah, that's the one that What the Hell's read early on into the seed.
So Riley, by the way, probably is doing bottom of the well here.
Yeah, I would assume.
It's one of the best locations available at this stage. There's, Valley Lake and... Is that it?
There's Valley Lake, there's Adult River.
Adult River, yeah, that's true.
Okay, here comes the well for Riley.
Yeah, there's also a chance that Riley just runs into a 5-pack or a 10-pack of chews in the well and doesn't have to worry about explosives checks.
Right, one of the big things that's really good for bottom of the well is it's really easy to save scum chews there as well. So even if you just get your 5-pack in there, You just do everything else first, and then you save quit, you do the bomb lock checks, and then you just reset immediately, because you've just save quit out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see what the hells, like, grab the hint, walk out, and do Valley beforehand.
Yeah.
He could
that would make
also
sense.
grab the hint and then just take the owl, and go back adult, maybe, to do River.
How's the seed going so far? Pretty dry start.
Oh,
Nice chickens hint.
Great hint, game. Great hint.
that's unfortunate, but I think that both our runners, upon seeing that hint, aren't going to feel too bad about it. Your save warp was in Kakariko, you got Nocturne immediately. If they assumed that they both did the same route, they wouldn't have ZL their first time in CAC, so they'd go to get the song. I think they both would feel... I mean, Riley might be a little bit more nervous because he might think, what the hell is just going to skip chickens on a whim.
Right. I was gonna say, if anyone's nervous about it, it's Riley, because he consistently does chickens, and what the hell could skip it? Oh, hello.
That is
Wow.
huge. If Riley can find a way to go up river... I assume what the hells will
Right.
probably end up here eventually.
Yeah, it does nothing yet on its own, so Riley really needs to find explosives or a scale to make that relevant before what the hell goes to bottom of the well. The issue is, again, you know, what else is what the hell's doing at this point? Like, Valley and
Yeah,
then
Yeah, Valley.
probably bottom of the well.
Yeah.
That's the other
Yeah.
thing, like, what the hell's going from Valley? His options are to go back down to Lake to get the owl. That's kind of slow. At that point, you might as well just play Nocturne or go to CAC. Your save quit is in CAC. No matter what happens, you're going through Kakariko. You're going to do bottom of the well here, I think. Pretty much every time.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can potentially think of for what the hells is, like, that would take him away from the well is if he wants to rush Adult River.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
maybe thinking that Sphere Zero Grotto is like first bomb bag or hammer.
Right, like, as adult, you can get 3 out of the 4 checks there, like... Sure, that's pretty good to rush to, but... I don't know, if you're going through CAC and the 2 are about as good as each other, I feel like you just do bottom of the well there.
Yeah, especially with as dry a start as we've had, like... You have to find something in the early game that lets you get more checks. You can't just have nothing like what the hell's has right now, so...
Valley didn't have anything. This child. And just a duplicate hint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be following Riley into the well here.
So Riley's definitely going to be worried about the Valley and Lake checks for a while, but for now at least, if he can check those as adult,
Ooh.
he's in a pretty good spot.
We find light arrows.
Again, more items we can't do anything with. We have Nehru's Love, the lens, light arrows, and a letter that you can't turn in. Brilliant.
The game's like, I heard that you wanted a major item. Here you go.
Yeah.
So what's next? Faro's Wind, Magic is like go mode? We'll just get all the magic locked items first? Yeah.
I just note all 3
Fire
keys in the
arrows.
well were not bomb locked.
Oh, that's
That's
true, yeah.
actually a good point to bring up.
Yeah, just in case people watching aren't aware, the key logic in the randomizer does assume you, well, don't really know what you're doing with keys. You can't lock yourself out of a seed. So in order to get into any of the key doors in bottom of the well, you have to have all of the keys logically, because you could open those doors in any order.
What the hell has to be careful with this big green bubble here? He's only got 3/4 of a heart left.
What the hell was not careful there, and I guess this is
know-
fairly careful, but
Is it
Ran
weird?
straight past it.
I haven't gone in that room in over a year, so I forgot that room existed in bottom of the well. I completely
Yeah,
forgot
same
that there's
here.
a ladder.
I started
you
playing.
walk up to get there.
Started playing Beta Quest the other day, and that's the only reason I remembered that room was because I got a square that was like, beat this many silver rupee rooms. I was like, there's one of those in bottom of the well, isn't there? Like, hold on.
Yeah. You have to climb some
Mr.
ladders to
Nintendo.
get all of them.
We have seen 2 checks in Death Mountain Trail. We've seen the top of DC and the Storm's Grotto.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, wouldn't be surprised to see Riley do the same thing that What the Hells did and walk out to Valley, kind of fishing for scale, chews, bombs, because going up river for him right now is very, very important. We know he's not going to be able to if he does this route, but
Yeah. And the other thing is, like, sure, going adult and going to Zora River feels great, but logically that is one check. Like, yes, that could be one check that bottlenecks everything, but it could just as easily be that you have to go back there for, like, logically with hovers or with a bomb bag or with a scale, and at that point, what have we got? Skulls?
we've
I
got
think they can do 10 skulls.
we've got 10 skulls. That one check in river adult SFM could have like, I don't know, Sun Song, Bolero to dip fire, Epona to go to GTG with nothing, with S4 meta.
Yeah, it's basically the adult river, one song, 10 skulls.
Thank you, Necro, for the raid. You
Well,
know, this we have stone water in this seed.
Yep,
Beautiful.
we do have stone water.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you, Necro, for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Those of you who are just joining us, we have a very, very dry start. We have river and fountain Way of the Hero, but no explosives or scale to turn the letter in. So it'll be very interesting to see what our runners decide to do afterwards.
And just a quick personal apology for rolling that earlier seed that Necro was restreaming in French.
Yeah, let's not try to spoil too much about it, but
Just a personal apology to all the French viewers.
the open grotto and river's probably a bomb bag at this point.
Oh, actually, now you mention it though, open grotto. I don't think we saw that. That is another thing that they could go and do.
I think What the Hell's checked that. They
left
Lake.
that way to go to
Yeah.
Valley. That makes sense. Yeah.
I think they both did, because if you go to
That would
Valley
make
from
sense.
Lake, there's zero chance you're just skipping the grotto for no reason.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, so at this point it's also worth noting as well, like, I think on its own, so by default, you can get, I think it's 15 skulls, Sphere 0. A bottle opens up at least 7 more. But they can't empty the... Oh no, wait, they have the red potion.
Yeah.
Riley got the red potion, so yeah, 20 skulls is in. Oh, 13, yeah, season 4 I guess is... No, it shouldn't be... Oh, the Deku one's removed, sure. Yeah, I'm still considering those.
So it's interesting. Riley is actually going to take a bit
So
of a
that'd be
lead
3
here
removed, right?
because of What the Hell's time of day.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been, in the random settings league, like the random settings league, there's been a bunch of stuff that's come up with Master Quest where people have discovered that things are in logic, and it's because Robdog wrote the logic for it and went, well, I can do it consistently, so it must be easy, and just added things into logic. I just assumed that was one of those. I assumed that was a Robdog special.
Ooh, actually, chat makes a good point. Riley has not checked Richard because of time of day shenanigans. I assume Riley will have another opportunity to check Richard. Because Deku is a medallion. I mean, they'll have to do it eventually, but with Jabu being a stone, I mean, they'll have to turn the letter in, so...
Mhm.
Chances are they know their spawn is in CAC, they have Serenade. When they go back Child, they'll just make it night and check Richard.
I love, by the way, Riley getting that emulator time save right there. The only big advantage that emulator has over Virtual Console is save resetting. So what the hell's walking out of Temple of Time? Riley just save quit.
Alright, so Riley is gonna choose River here, and I think What the Hells might make the same decision.
And again, this makes sense, right? Like, if you get River access as Child, all 4 checks are in Logic. If
Yep.
you don't, only one of them is in Logic as Adult, but you can get 3 of them. So, like, the way the hero hint, you might as well just chase it now. You've got a pretty reasonable chance that you can do it anyway. So yeah, one was at Nocturne and one was in Meadow? SFM? I think?
Yes, on
I
top of the
believe
base.
so,
Yeah.
Yeah, both after Adult 1, Gav.
Mhm.
So, unless you decide to just go and you're Adult 1, which some players will do.
So what are we expecting here? Hammer? I think Hammer's my
I'm gonna-
bet.
I'm gonna go with Scale.
It's a
Oh.
bomb
Ah,
bag.
there it is. Yeah.
Well,
Sphere Zero Grotto strikes again.
Yeah. Blowing open the
Yes.
seat a little bit.
none of us should really be surprised at this one. That's-
DC way of the hero.
Hey.
Ooh.
Alright, so that bomb bag is locking the whole seed. Alright, so I think DC's obviously our runners are gonna do DC here.
Mhm.
After that, do you rush turning in the letter?
Don't know if I
Way
wanted
to
to
Hero
rush it though. It's one of those awkward ones because you can only get 2 of the checks. Like Ice Cavern isn't good at this point. Like you've got all the relevant songs, so the song from Ice Cavern is probably bad. It definitely massively depends on what's in Dodongo's Cavern, but like my instinct would be you care more about just doing the bomb locked checks than you do about turning in the letter right now.
And we haven't seen an OOT hint at this point, right?
Right.
Okay, so there's still the potential that, like, you could find Boomerang into Dongos for, like,
Oh no.
Epona
Yeah.
for GTG access or something like that. Yeah, we're pretty much just waiting on whatever DC has. This looks like a really early bottleneck from that bomb bag. And then it's just kind of linear from there on out. We'll see what's going on here.
I expect What the Hells to follow Riley into DC here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it is Vanilla Song of Time for River Chest, it couldn't be Boss Key, but it could be an item.
Stone water. We love Waterstone.
Like those are the best, right? The forced double dip stone water. Let's just like throw something in there, locking long shot, make it a triple.
Nice DC Way of the Hero hint in DC. Thanks a lot, game.
The Hells is not going to get baited by the bottle on top of DC. Because he has the letter.
Yeah.
Also, it
interesting to
frustrates
see.
me. Hmm?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it frustrates me that Riley hasn't stopped to buy a shield during all of this.
He could not. It was
Yeah, I
night.
can't
and he
afford
did not
one
have
right
the
now.
money.
He
Yeah.
does not have the opportunity to get through it day either. Oh, he
Yep.
did market. He went through market.
I mean, doing DC without a shield isn't that slow. What the hell is gonna make some time up on Riley?
Mm.
Like, DC
Yeah.
without a shield is probably one of the tamest no-shield dungeons in the
Right.
game.
It makes a difference, but not so much that you care. It's not like, you know... I was gonna say, in water, if you're not beating Morpher, and not having a shield is, like, pretty much irrelevant. Against Morpher, it's like, okay, you're about to have some trouble, like, potentially. But then, like, yeah, fire is... No, you want a shield every time. Forest, shield every time.
There's some people in chat who may disagree with you, but
I have very
I'm
strong
firmly
opinions on this.
firmly on team buy a shield here. What about you, VXR?
Well, I don't play, but I think buy shields responsibly.
Obviously, if you just walk into Mido's house first thing and get a shield, it's like, cool, you didn't have the chance to buy one. Fine, whatever. But if you have the opportunity to buy one, you should probably buy one.
You know, it's weird because I've watched Riley a fair bit recently, and I think Riley definitely subscribes to buying a shield, but in their races lately, they just haven't been able to buy them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, this is like the third time I've seen Riley do this in the last month.
Alright, so there's our way of the hero, most likely, is a hook shot. So now, if you go to Adult SFM to grab your song, you can dip Forest Temple as well.
Okay, that's... I was gonna say, I'm generally not a fan of the Forest Temple dip most of the time, but like, when you've been bottlenecked this hard, like, A, sure, it's probably one of your better options, and B, it's really difficult to get out of that bottleneck mentality as well. Even if the like, you know, they could find like strength 2 bombs, hook shot, bow, hammer, whatever. It's still really hard to get out of that I have to do everything because it's such a bottleneck seed mindset.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh! Okay. I heard the shield flick and thought, oh, you mistimed the bomb.
Oh, a little early, isn't it? Oh, actually, yeah, I guess the thing with the forest dip right now is you need to get a key in those first 2 checks. Oh, even then, actually, yeah, you're just not doing a courtyard. Yeah, that doesn't seem worth it to me. If you could do the courtyard, it's fine, but without it, it's like, ugh, dipping in feels so terrible.
Well, I mean, you could grab a couple of skulls. What the hell's is that? 8 skulls right now? So if you decide to go to forest, you can dip, get the 2 skulls. That'll leave you at 10.
Boomerang.
Ooh.
Oh, baby, here we go. Here we go.
We gotta pay
Now you
attention
gotta
to where
make that
as long as
decision.
that shows up. We gotta pay attention to where that ends up at. Because if that's not, because if the long shot's not hook shot locked, that
Right,
could
like,
get dicey.
I was gonna say, yeah, like, we can, I guess, settle the nerves or crush dreams, whichever way you look at it. It's probably that the second hookshot is hook locked. Like, generally speaking, a lot of the game ends up hookshot locked. Just by merit of there being quite a lot of checks locked by it, and then items locked by that, and basically right now it's either bomb locked or hook locked, so those are the 2 big options. But, you know, we spoke about Stone Water earlier. Now, Stone Jabu, that's where it's at.
I would be rushing Stone Jabu right now. Hell yeah, let's go. I'm all in. Let's go.
Whenever you say stuff like that, I can never tell if you're being serious or not.
Well, I mean, you're gonna have that choice when you turn in the letter. This race could very much come down to one runner decides, I'm gonna go in and check the first 3 checks, and the other says, nah, I'm gonna rush Fountain.
Right.
Right, the first 3 checks in Jabu are actually really good. I remember actually, I was gonna say, we looked into this at one point, and it was me, you, and Riley, right? Figuring out basically how many checks per minute there were in each dungeon. And it's like, the difference between doing the last check in Jabu and not.
There's a
Basically,
bow.
now you do it first. Now I think you do it first. Is the difference between whether you go to the last check in Jabu or not basically determines whether or not it's like better or worse than Forest and Fire. It's like if you do just the first 3 checks in Jabu, it's better on check density than either Forest or Fire will be. But if you do Baronade as well, then it's way worse because that last check is just so slow.
Yeah, we're referring to checks per minute.
Yeah,
So...
yeah. Yeah, density, not number.
Alright, so now that we have that bow... Oh, what the hell is gonna check the synth, actually?
I'm a little surprised, and at the same time, this makes sense.
Okay, Song of Time and Ice Cavern.
That's one less song that can be on AD.
That's an important hint for Foolish Corn City.
Yeah, still gotta blow up Link the Goron. No way to get into Crater.
Riley did grab the hint as well there, so they do both have that information. That's one of those ones that, like, as well, rules out some potential bait. Song of Time is one that shows up as a, yes, this is logically required for the central chest in Gerudo Training Grounds, or like the right side of the maze that also has one key.
Minuet in the Crater.
Nice, good efficiency.
You can get another song out of that easily. Is that another bottle on the wall there?
I thought it was a huge rupee, but
Yeah, look like a gold rupee.
the timer was perfectly covering it, so it was really hard to tell.
I wonder if what the hell is Dip's Fire here. He's been preaching this keep it simple mentality for his matches. It's like, oh, you can check this, just check it. Like, nope, he's going back.
Yeah, I guess that applies to both directions at this point, and these are the ones that you know most people are more likely to do. Okay.
Yeah, it is a huge rupee, alright.
It's interesting to me that they both check the Medigoron hint, but Riley doesn't check the Crater one.
Yeah.
I mean, Riley doesn't have
looks like
that
he's
many
gonna check it.
bombs.
What the hell's Davin doesn't only has 4.
Yeesh. Yeah, well, the Hells didn't grab them at the end of DC either.
Frogs 2 is dead.
I think that's the first time we've seen that,
Yeah.
It is,
if I remember
yeah.
correctly.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet. We
The
haven't
only-
seen it.
Yeah, the only hints missing now are...
GTG center chest is the eyeball frog.
There's that Song of Time!
That's a magic meter. So, I think you gotta do Ice Cavern here.
Yeah,
Now
here's
I think that-
Sunsong.
Suns is actually very, very good for Riley. It means that Richard is basically free whenever they decide to go back child. So that's a good find for them. But
Right,
it does
true.
mean that our runners are going to have to do no claim check or eye drops easy mode Vigoron today.
What the hell's with the double take on that one?
It's
Yeah, I guess.
the eyeball frog is the trade item needed for Big Oron. So what happens is you take that down to the guy in the lab. He gives you the eye drops. You hand those to Big Oron. He gives you the claim check. You hand the claim check to Big Oron. He gives you the ban. But if they decide to save and reset, it gets reverted to the prescription, which they would then have to give to King Zora in order to get the frog back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say it definitely helps them that they've got Serenade, because they're gonna have to, like, they're gonna probably want to use that to get to turn that frog in. You're allowed to warp, you're just not allowed to save quit.
So the interesting thing is that it is magic on Vigoron. They don't need that ASAP, and obviously they could get to GTG right now if they wanted to, but they would have to reverse, which is not in logic.
Mm-hmm.
And you could, technically, I mean, if there's no keys in toilet or the right side maze, you might be able to get the eyeball frog without long a time.
Right, yeah, we have no idea. They could potentially be able to get there logically, they could be able to get there out of logic, or they could just not be able to get there without Song of Time. And we have no idea which it is until we see someone go there. All depending on whether there are, 0 to 3+ keys locked by Song of Time.
Let's see if What the Hells gets anything out of this forest dip. This is
One
something
last
that
note.
Riley elected to not do.
Oh, right, yeah, that's true, actually. One last quick note on the trade item at the end of the Gerudo training grounds there. The thing that is worth noting there is that basically nothing in the training grounds is magic locked. So, we were saying earlier, you've got the potential to find the other magic. That's... If one of your magics is magic locked, that isn't it. Most likely. Obviously depends on strength too, and potentially Iron Boots, Hammer, things like that. But, and I guess most importantly, access to the Gerudo area. But it's pretty reasonable to assume that one won't be locked by magic.
Yeah, it looks like Riley is gonna go Child here, which, you have Fountain Way of the Hero. You know that GTG Center has your Eyeball Frog for a magic that may be hard required. So I think, see, I don't know about Jabu here, because you found a Boomerang in Way of the Hero DC, but knowing what you know, it just seems so much like it would be an aggressive risk to dip Jabu, I think.
The Way of the Hero command is outdated. We also have Zora's River and DC, the Nagus Cavern.
Which song checks haven't we seen yet?
We don't know what's on OoT.
And both the Forest Medallion ones?
Yeah, and the
that's
three
it?
songs. And the 3 songs left are Epona's Song, Bolero, and Prelude.
Just wondering about the viability of getting Epona at a reasonable time to go to like GTG and Logic, but
And Shadows are 4th medallion, so that's...
yeah, probably not.
And Spirit's the Fire medallion.
So, 2 more checks we have in addition to Richard here for Riley is Shoe Bowling.
Oh, a
There's
strength
Forest.
upgrade.
8 out for not diffing, I guess.
Well, with Minuet, dipping, not dipping, there's very little time lost at all
Yeah.
for dipping.
Leaving the courtyard is also very slow. Or more accurately, I guess. Yeah, if you're in forest, you're leaving the courtyard. That takes a long time. What the hell's not doing that is like, yeah, sure, okay.
What's behind door number 2? Heart piece. No hype Shoe Bowling today.
Okay, half the time people say heart piece, I hear harpies. Oh no, that was a dog. Off you go, Riley.
Oh, whoops. Wrong dog.
You're trying to
There's so
lose it around the
many
fountain.
Landmines.
That work?
Yep,
It-
just
Oh, yeah,
run
it
around
did,
the
alright.
fountain and the dog will
Nice.
just stop following you.
You can lose them, but sometimes it takes way too long.
Can't believe Riley, of all people, grabbed the wrong dog. What a shame.
Team Richard the dog recoils. Disgust.
Well, Richard's mom was cool. She gave him a shield. A shiny, unique one at that.
She handed out the mirror. It's just like, you know, bit of spring cleaning, just replace the mirror on the wall. We'll give it a kid. I always like doing when you play with like the skull token shuffled, and she just hands you a skull. You're like, what in the hell?
My favorite is when she gives you a stick. Richard, fetch the stick. I don't think we've seen Sun's Grave.
Oh, we haven't, have we? Oh,
And we get
right.
wind out of that.
Yeah, that's a very nice one to have, especially knowing that they can get to magic now.
Well, there's
Honestly?
no guarantee.
Right. Like, honestly, if you're in What the Hell Shoes at this point, though, I think you've at least got to consider going to GTG now to try and get your magic. Because if you're going Child to do Ice Cavern anyway, having Furrows for that would be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know though, because at the same time you're committing to a magic that might not be required.
Right.
the thing,
You
yeah.
might be locked into doing it the other way around anyway. So,
Yeah, they
GTG.
can reach GTG, but it's not in logic. We don't have Epona or Longshot to get there.
right. You would have to reverse, which... Oh,
Ah,
They know how to reverse.
aim.
Ooh, and hey, aim.
someone in chat mentioned earlier, like, is that actually what the hell's? I didn't see any NA aim. Well, I mean, there's your proof.
The funny thing to me is, like, the NA aim thing as well never applied to the US. Like, it always started off as a Canadian thing, and it's always stayed as a Canadian thing. It was like, Riley, what the hell?
Ah, there you go.
Okay. Well, rip eyeball frog. Well, we're not going to see the eyeball frog today.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I was just saying that, yeah, the NA aim very much started off as, like, ATZ, and now is, yeah. Oh, Riley, and what the
Frogs
hell's...
1, we get big BGS off of Frogs 1.
Getting that this early is nice, especially with Shadow and Spirit required. And Forest, for that matter.
Yeah,
Now
you're
we
not
can
wrong,
frog
Namaha. We could definitely do it.
I mean, you could. Yeah, you just reverse the GTG before going away the Hero Fountain, which could have Strength 2 to get you something or keys in GTG. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
Arrow.
Love
Arrows.
Yeah.
It's weird. I watched the Bonnaroo match the other day, and he shot the sun. The cutscene was started for like 1 second, and then he reset. Like,
Like, how
he was
did
able
you
to
see
see
it?
what the item is, like literally instantaneously. Meanwhile, it takes me like 5 seconds to figure out what it is I'm looking at.
Okay, so questions in chat. Strength 1 was Bonfu Bowling, Magic was Adult Shooting, and also Namaha Icy Waters is hinted dead.
Yeah, so we know that when we go to Ice Cavern, or when we go to Fountain, I should say, you're guaranteed to get whatever is Way the Hero in there. Do not need Iron Boots to get it.
Right, and I guess this makes a lot more sense from Riley's position as well, because you check the Fairy Fountain, it's like, that's 50% done already. Like, you know if you have to go back as adult or not.
And he's grabbing a fish.
Ooh.
I mean, So, on the one hand, this could be, I'm just going to open Jabu while I'm here. You're warping away anyway, so you check the fountain first, you go into Jabu, and then you just warp. That's it. On the other hand, like, if he goes into the fountain and gets, like, I don't know, Kokiri sword, it's like, well, Deku's foolish anyway, this does nothing. Might as well go into Jabu. Okay, probably not might as well go into Jabu, because there's other options open, but...
One thing that What the Hells has as an advantage over Riley in this situation is What the Hells has full use of Furor's Wind. So when they go to turn their letter in, they might be able to throw FW in Jabu, and let's just say something required is in there, they'll be able to get back much more easily.
Right, and in Riley's mind, there's just like...
It's a much
not even a sign of Furor's Wind being available. He's not got Furor's or magic. Like, in his mind, that's not even a consideration, is, oh, what if my opponent has Furor's Wind going here?
I mean, that could end up helping Riley if they decide to go into Jabu. Like, let's just say Jabu has a required item in, like, the first 3 checks. Riley decides to go in because he has no FW. What the Hells decides to place FW and leave. That could swing the race right there, potentially.
Right, if he goes in here, gets the... You know, we said about the first 3 checks being pretty efficient. Like, yeah, that could be a big deal. That could be the kind of thing that does make a world of difference.
There's our other 40 hand.
The fact that Riley's...
commands updated, please.
The fact that Riley is opening Jabu before going to the fountain makes me think he's not doing anything here. So he just
on emulator, it's actually... If you're going to get the fountain, it's faster to go into Jabu, save, do the fountain fairy. I mean, there's a 50% chance he's not going to be able to scum the fairy here, because fountain is way the hero. But if it is nothing, and he wants to do Jabu, he just resets and he's back in the mouth.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And there's the other frog student. Still no OoT hint, and there's a scale.
Ooh.
I think that was the remote grotto.
I think so, yeah. It's definitely a really nice one to have right now. Yeah, we were saying about, like, Jabu. So Riley really wants to find something in Jabu here, because, What the Hells is not going to go in pretty much at all here, for sure. You've got a scale, you've got Serenade, you've got Furores, you've got, like, everything you could ever need to get back here easily. You don't do it now. Not when you've got, I assume, Forest open, because What the Hells is probably going to get the strength here.
Yeah. Yeah, Riley is committed to Stone Deku.
Stone Jabu.
Or, yeah, Jabu, yeah.
So we know our way the hero item is on the iceberg fountain for sure.
On the one hand, What the Hells is doing Child Spirit that we've not seen yet. That's cool. On the other hand, he just left the market and didn't do Bomb 2 bowling, so no strength.
Yeah.
He only
got
has
Serenade and
14
Sons.
rupees.
Yeah, he doesn't have the money to do it. He's got Serenade and Sons, so when he wants to go back adult, it's a little bit more efficient in terms of movement to just farm the rupees as you're showing up at the bridge. Then you just walk in, do Chu Bowling before you go adult.
Right,
so what
no
the hell
prelude
isn't
either.
gonna know?
So... Yeah, no, actually, that's pretty effective, but yeah, it does mean... Oh my...
Ooh, is that Colossus Fairy?
Yes, it was.
We love
Where's
stone
that
water.
long shot? Oh god. So the thing is, like, if it is some kind of AD, you go to Zora Fountain and you find the long shot and you're like, this is all available. Like, I just have to do this. You follow it. You do all of training grounds first. Whatever. There's nothing. Like, cool. Off to water. Off to AD. For Eponas, you know it's hard required at least because you need the long shot to get to Epona.
Right.
And the other songs are irrelevant. It's Prelude and Bolero. Like, no matter what's on OOT at this point, it's I'll say 2.5 to 3 checks from Epona, one that you can do without Epona.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, with the Epona song and OOT and Stonewater, long shot could absolutely be for logical access to GTG.
Mm-hmm.
If Epona song is on OOT, we still don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised at this point to see a long shot Way of the Hero, and it's just because, like, Dins or Hovers is in GTG.
Alright, so this is Riley's last check in Jabu. What the hell is his last hard child lock check in Spirit? He is gonna
Gotta
continue.
assume Riley's not going further, right?
I don't know, you come all the way in here. We'll have to see. I think he's got it in him to continue. I don't think it would be the greatest idea. God!
Jabu play! Oh my god! So he can
That
be
is
sparring?
huge.
He can do fire? Yeah, that's pretty phenomenal for Riley.
We are
Wow.
still missing a fourth way of the hero, though. Yeah, that doesn't confirm. Yeah, Boomerang did not. That's not ring locked.
You know, I was thinking about this as Riley was grabbing the fish. I'm like, what if Riley was thinking, it's what the hell's, I've got to make a play. This kind of makes sense for me. Let's just do it and see what happens.
I mean, if that was the thought process, then wow. I don't feel like Riley is the type of player to make that kind of choice. He tends to be very safe even when he thinks he's unfavored. He makes, like, educated gambles and not big plays. But, I mean, if that is it, then it's paid out, and if it was whatever the first 3 checks in Jabu were pretty fast, I'll just do them. It paid out. Like, whatever the reasoning, he's not going to complain at this point.
Alright, so now we're both in Child Spirit, and so what the hell is going to have a really important decision to make here, and I honestly think that having Magic and Furor's Wind is going to work as a detriment to what the hell's here, because it's going to be much better, it's going to be much more tempting for him to just drop FW and leave and go to Way the Hero Fountain.
Right.
So that hammer could get left for a very long time, depending on what our last Way of the Hero hint is, potentially. Maybe they get double the Dongo's Cavern or something like that, and Baronade has something and he gets pushed back in there. Like,
I mean, right, the other thing there is, like, we didn't get anything in the Zora Fountain Fairy, so there is still another item sitting out there, presumably, you know, Strength, Kokiri Sword, Hovers, Dins. Those are kind of the big ones at this point, huh? I guess we'll see from what the hell's now if, long shot is logically required for this. Oh, we've got jump slash strats going. No sticks.
Incoherent, you don't need a slingshot to get to the boomerang chest, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure you can do that with choose in Logic.
It is in Logic with
Like
bombs,
bomb
yeah,
bag.
you can just
Yeah.
hit it with a bomb as well. it's awkward to hit with the bomb, but it's pretty easy to do with shoes that you can buy, and you can hit it with a bomb, so it ended up in logic.
I was having cutting it close on that. Iron Knuckle, he ran out with 6, so he had to use jump slashes. And, okay, Spirit's long shot locked.
Long shot
Deep Spirit.
required. Of course it is.
I mean, even if you know what's required for Spirit Key logic, with no idea where Epona is, I mean, you wouldn't scoff at finding it, to be honest.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's like, as soon as you find it, you're like, okay, maybe I just rush over, do Gerudo checks now, but, what that does mean is that, yeah, the boomerang is pretty irrelevant at this point. DC's done with, and if you find Longshot in the Fountain Fairy, in Zora Fountain, you're not gonna worry about it. You're just like, okay, cool, that's for Spirit, move on. You're not gonna keep thinking about like, oh, why did I need this? Which you might if that wasn't there. Never mind.
Oh,
Never
there
mind.
it is. Wow.
Amazing.
So that's not hook locked.
Right.
Well, I mean, we confirmed that the hookshot's way of the hero because of Spirit Key logic.
That wait, the slingshot was in Forest Temple, right?
Yeah,
So
that is
hook locked.
locked. Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh
No.
I
gosh.
did not
We're
write
not
that down
even-
correctly
no.
in my notes.
Yeah,
We're not
this is
even
we're
approaching
already
that.
in oh no mode. We could do AD.
We're not even approaching that. It's at this point, it's like long shots required. The end. On.
That hookshot was on target in the woods.
Terrible. Wow.
Locked by a slingshot that what the hell's found in Forest Temple.
Yeah, the slingshot, logically important. Not necessarily the one in Forest, I think, is the important part there, though.
It is possible that there is just like another slingshot sitting around somewhere that we just haven't seen yet.
Oh, did Riley just miss one of the crouch stabs there?
They actually did normal slashes for some reason.
He was like, did a bunch of crouch stabs and then just like stood up and swung at the end and hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, Riley's a C-stick boy like me, so maybe his thumb slipped off the crouch button.
Ah, C-stick for items. So rough.
Like Riley's gonna be getting his iron boot here.
Alright, so what the hell is gonna have a moment of truth here eventually? He knows at this point that AD is almost irrelevant. He knows where Song of Time is. Epona is for 2.5 checks. Prelude, no. Bolero, you don't need. Like, it's gonna be pretty important for the outcome of this race if What the Hells decides to dip Jabu and do checks or just place FW down.
Might actually be one of those kind of, I don't know. The fact that he didn't get the strength from Bombshoe Bowling makes him think that actually he's got way less to do than it looks like. Like, in his mind, he doesn't know how much he's got open. So he might actually go to Jabu here.
Yeah, he knows that with the long shot, GTG is in logic.
Mm.
And he had a Way the Hero hookshot in DC. So he could think along the lines of, okay, like the C wants me to go to GTG. But I mean, it is What the Hells. He does have the ability to make gutsy calls based on his instinct and his intuition, so I
just
wouldn't
guess
be shocked to
which...
see him go in.
What is the gutsy call here? Is it being thorough, or is it just immediately bailing and doing one of Gerudo Training Grounds, Ice Cavern.
I think doing checks in Jabu is very gutsy, especially when you have Ferora's Wind and it's a stone and AD's not very relevant, not very...
Yeah, no, I agree. And it's a question of how What the Hell sees it. The thing for What the Hell that's really interesting to me is that he doesn't see a lot of the gambles he makes as gambles. He does things that no other player would, but he just sees them as the logical play.
Titties.
Also, this conversation did come up the other day, by the way, regarding What the Hell's racing style. Is like, he is one of the best runners, has like such a great mind for rando, has been playing OoT since like the dawn of time, or like 2013, basically the same. And the one big weakness that he has is he is on boomer strats. What the Hell has never updated his strats like, at all.
I mean, he got a fish, which we expect him to do. He should at least put up W in Jabu no matter what here. It's just a question of, does he continue? He's got to check the Fountain Fairy at least here, and he will.
Also, yeah, What the Hell's is like dabbled in everything in OoT. It still amazes. There was the what was it? It was like the he's
doing it.
He's going
in.
But yeah, the fact that What the Hell's joined a race at one point in the community when it was the glitch logic, no I am wrong warp, no SRM, whatever. Like, no item manipulation. Oh, yeah, no I am wrong warp. Just said that. Entered that, and he was like, yo, I've not done these glitches in, like, ages. I'm gonna be terrible. And then just won by a landslide. That says everything about What the Hell's, honestly.
Alright, so Riley is going to be in progression mode here for a little bit. He's got Forest, all of Forest.
Wolf, that's why.
He's got Fire available. While What the Hells is making a huge play to clear out Jabu. Probably going to find their hammer.
Ganon's castle needs 2 medallions to spawn the bridge.
So yeah, Riley's options are really open after this. I guess you don't want to go back to bottom of the world just for like those bomb lock checks. That's pretty inefficient. So what? 3 checks they left behind?
Riley is probably going to do Forest into Fire, into Fountain. To grab whatever is way of the hero.
And then after that, it'll be like, let's just assume it's Dins or Hovers, and you still need to find the other. So your big options are Ice Cavern, which makes sense because you're already going to be at Fountain. Gerudo Training Grounds, more likely for What the Hells because you could just set FW in Ice. I guess maybe not. You wouldn't do Training Grounds if you're in What the Hell shoes because GTG wants that Song of Time from Ice Cavern, so you would just do Ice Cavern. And Ganon's Castle. Those are kind of your big 3 right now, are like Ice, GTG, Ganon's.
Is there any item in Fountain that'll push you a certain way upon picking it up? Kokiri Sword, no.
Strength 2.
Baron.
Strength 2 is the big one.
Strength 2 can push you into...
Like, you just go clear Spirit.
Go Spirit, yeah. Makes GTG better. Dins can be helpful, but neither runner has hover boots, and we don't know where those are. So Dins, can be helpful for a few areas, but doesn't unlock as much as Strength 2 does right now.
I guess there's always the option that, like, there's still half a forest we've not seen, we've still got fire. Like, there's always the potential that they find something in these, and then, like, the Fountain one opens up Shadow.
Also, keep in mind, Riley has not done cack archery, so they may be thinking, I gotta route in GTG to get my eyeball frog to get magic.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have magic from the cack shooting gallery.
Riley really needs to, like, find an excuse to go through CAC for something at this point, doesn't he? He needs a reason to go there. But having Minuet makes that better for fire. Having Minuet makes that better for ice because you've got the iron boots to go through. Like, no matter which play he makes, there's like pretty much no reason for him to go through Kakariko. I guess, yeah, if he was turning in skulls, because the other thing is it's not just the magic there, it's also the Feroz Wind on the Sun's Grave.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like, if Riley finds a reason to go to CAC at this point, like, any excuse will do. Like, any reason for Riley to want to go to Kakariko will pick up both Feroz Wind and magic.
The only thing I can think of is wanting to turn in Skulls check for some reason, and that's kind of like an out there reason. Or not. You can't even use the excuse, oh, like he'll do it after Shadow because he would have the other magic first.
Right. I guess the one thing I could say there is, like, if Riley hits 20 on the way through Forest and Fire, then all of a sudden doing the Redead Grave, 10, 20, and Archery, like, that's a lot of checks in a short amount of time.
Riley has already done Redead Grotto. Both runners have.
No, the Grave, I meant.
Oh, Redead Grave, my bad.
Yeah. Because in Riley's mind, that's 4 checks. We know 2 of them are Magic and Feroz. So.
Well, I mean, Riley's path to fire probably is just when he gets out of Forest Temple,
Minuet
go up into
yeah.
Lost Woods.
Well, yeah, he'll already be there.
Yeah, just use the Lost Woods shortcut. Alright, so basically, I'm kind of worried for Riley here, because it seems like his route is very face up right now, where it's, you know, like Forest into Fire into, you know, Fountain, see what you get. Like, he might go GTG before CAC.
The thing
I feel like that makes the most sense to him.
The thing that Riley would need right now, and this is like incredibly unlikely, is for some way, somehow, Din's to be magic locked. Whether that's something along, or better yet, the center of GTG being magic locked. Something that will basically railroad him into getting that other magic. That is probably the best case scenario for Riley right now, would be something like, you know, I don't know, Din's is on Treasure Chest game.
Right.
Which, what the hell hasn't done, by the way?
Yeah, what the hell's with just skip chess game?
I think it makes sense.
I mean,
it's slow
yeah.
and kind of inefficient right now to do it, but
He's got no reason to do it. He's got Fountain Way the hero, Forest Temple, Fire Temple. He's got a lot of better things he could be doing than chess game. Right now, the seed is very volatile. There are a lot of ways where, if you're just playing it on your own, there are a lot of ways that you can get really unlucky. You don't dip Jabu for the hammer, you do Eyeball Frog, Begoron for the magic, potentially. Very slow start, but now we have a lot of things to work with.
yeah, actually it's kind of impressive that neither of them have been massively tripped up yet. we're still talking about the fact that Riley has a pretty high potential for it at this stage, but right now, with everything that could have gone wrong, it's honestly shocking that it hasn't for either runner.
Alright, I'm going to be right back.
Hey.
Alrighty. Yes, Phoenix Feather. The hammer was in the boomerang chest in Jabu, which both runners decided to go clear the first 3 checks.
The long shot was in Lost Woods, the shooting target. With the slingshot, Riley only just got in Forest as well, and that's the only slingshot we've seen.
Yeah, Phoenix, we were talking about how Riley didn't have the ability to put FW in Jabu, so going in made a little bit more sense for him. Whereas What the Hell's had FW and magic, so it would be more tempting to leave, but he decided to clear it.
Oh, the child spawn on that one is Kakariko as well. On top of the house.
Yeah, the owl spawn.
Yeah. So I guess the big thing right now is like, we're basically waiting to see what's in the fountain. We're not going to know that until after fire, most likely. Although actually in saying that...
I'm thinking...
Do you do ice? Do you do fire then ice, or ice then fire?
I mean, I feel like it's fine to do them in any order. I feel like you should probably just do fire first. The only thing for Riley is, like, maybe you do fountain first because you could get the long shot, which means you don't have to go get Pierre beforehand, potentially.
I was gonna say, the thing for What the Hells is maybe you do fountain first, leave FW in ice, because that fountain item might give you a bit of a better direction. But... and maybe you just don't want to do Ice Cavern.
What the hell's getting trolled by the floor master here?
I hate when it does that. Welcome back. Why does that floor master do that? Like, just stay active sometimes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyone know?
I have no idea. Usually it's just dead before it has a chance to put up its green shield or whatever.
It's only ever that one. I've never seen it happen with any other one. Fitness master? Oh god.
So I definitely think that even though What the Hells is like a little behind in Forest Temple right now, I think he has a lead because of the magic. Like, that's going to be really, really important to see if Riley can find a way to route Kak in before committing to doing Big Oron for the other magic. Because that would be a massive time loss for Riley, especially if they don't find, like, Bolero anywhere.
Right, we know that Bolero's at least late, so...
Yeah.
It's just a... yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, any other reason that you would go through Kakariko, and the only thing that's coming to mind is if you're being efficient and you're about to go and do Big Pose. And again, we know Epona's is also very late this seed. Like, all of the remaining songs that are not Song of Time are pretty far away.
Long shots on target in the woods.
Yeah.
Yep, long time is hinted in Ice Cavern.
Mr. Nintendo, the quickest way to fountain at this stage is probably the Lostwood shortcut. And then play ZL.
Yeah. Iron Boots through the shortcut, and then... I guess What the Hells has a scale, but... both have iron, so that's fine. And yeah, Riley's best route to the castle, unfortunately for Riley at this point, is safe quitting. Their safe quit is in the kind of path outside the Templar time. Well, I guess, if nothing else, this is a good opportunity to thank the people behind the scenes. The kind of hidden heroes of the restream. The trackers today. So we have Lazy and Sadie Sweet doing all the work, keeping the interface looking good, making sure you'll know which items the runners have found. So, Riley just finding a big Poe in forest just caught me off guard while I was saying that. And yeah, and if you aren't already, make sure you follow both of the runners as well, because they're putting on a hell of a race here, and they're both great runners. They're both like very talkative, very active runners in the community, and
yeah, they're really awesome people, and they're great runners as well, so make sure you give them a follow. Shout outs to the trackers. Yep, like Yoshi mentioned, heroes behind the scenes. Shout outs to my co-coms. And shout outs to, I guess, Star for beginning the restream and George for taking over.
yeah, I guess the hidden heroes of every stream are the there's not even a command. So that big Poe bottle is definitely an interesting one. It can really, I guess, just be one of those efficiency things. Because you're not getting opponents, that big Poe can be required. You can't empty it unless you turn it in, so you might just have to go there and do that as part of your, like, as one of your checks. But that's another reason that Riley might not go through Kakariko at some point. Because now it's that much better to go through Market if you want to go into Field, for example.
Nothing on PG. Forrest having only a slingshot today.
So, I wanna say about this in chat. This is an interesting thought. What the hell's being #1 seed? So what the hell's is, you know, we've said consistently been one of the best players in the community for years. Long Way as a Hero was the last one.
Wow, great hint.
That was Nocturne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell has consistently been at the top of the community for years, like near the top, like in that. Going back to, you know, season 2, I remember talking to people and we kind of made jokes about the 5 gods of Rando. You know, referencing the people we talk about, like the 5 gods in Smash Bros. Melee. We kind of did the same thing. We were like, alright, so you've got ATZ, Duke, Marco, Banuru, what the hell's, like, those are your 5. And then we were like, so right now, Sponge is Leffen.
Hey,
coming in as like...
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
You're coming in as like the 6th, who's like on par, but weren't around when the gods were established. So,
just want to establish this isn't my opinion here.
No, this is like a couple of us outside, like different chat. But the thing for What the Hells is like he's always got a really innovative way of routing things, and I think the biggest thing for season 4 is the routing is very different to the previous seasons. And so a lot of players took a while to adjust for that. And one of the things I really want to point out here is, like, 2 of the top 3 runners were the Random Settings League finalists in the first season. You've got What the Hell's Mr. Mario, like, 2 of the top 3 seeds right there. That was the finals of the first season of the Random Settings League.
Yeah.
The routing is very different in season 4 compared to seasons 2 and 3. And it's very thorough, which rewards people who, you know, the same way that being thorough in RSL would.
I mean to cut you off, but Riley is about to see what our Way the Hero item is in Zora's Fountain. That is...
Is that a sword?
Harry sword,
That
yep.
is the baby sword. So not the item you want to find right now. You'll take it. You need it. But with Baron Deku, you'd much rather have found that later.
It's always funny though, like, the meme in the community is that it's the butter knife. Me and my brother, when we were younger, always called it the toothpick. Like, it's barely a sword. The handle is longer than the blade. Like,
One thing I want to add to your point, Yoshi, is that they also mentioned in their comment that Marco and Bono dropped. We actually ran some numbers, and
right.
if you counted every single qual that people did, like if you took the middle, like if you dropped the best qual and did the... Actually, no, I think it was just if you took the 5 best races of everybody out of every qual that counted, Marco would actually be the 1 seed.
Right.
So
right.
I think that Marco just got a little bit unlucky with how quals turned out. I think the same with Bono. Bono didn't do too many quals, so...
Both of them definitely had a couple of races where they, I don't want to say performed badly, but below expectations, where there weren't really any big standout ones of that for someone like What the Hells.
Alright, so Riley is deciding to do Ice Cavern here.
OT is opponent. We got our OT in. It's opponent's song.
Ooh, okay.
And Riley skipped that hint.
Yeah, actually, he mentioned that earlier. I was commenting on the fact that, you know, I didn't realize you could read these 2 Deku hints after Forest Temple. You're right there. And he's like, oh yeah, I do that all the time, but I usually skip the other one. And
Yeah.
Oh, Riley, come on. Riley has not had a good Ice Cavern right now. Had a bit of trouble with the Charizards earlier, and
yeah, he's
not
losing
liking
a lot
his
of time in
platform.
here, unfortunately.
Also, I guess, for what it's worth with Riley as well, like, not having that hint isn't costly at this point. You know, we mentioned that Epona's is, like, the only song that does anything at this point, and it's now 2 checks. Like, we found a big Poe. It's just both of the horseback archery ones and nothing else.
He also jumped to the platform without getting blue fire. Right, so What the Hell is going to be following right behind Riley. Now, What the Hell has a decision here. Does he go into Ice Cavern? Does he place a W? Ooh!
Two.
Oh, What the Hell has another decision to make here.
So Riley's going to definitely keep going because he's missing 3 items. He's hoping he can find the other magic potentially still. He's going to go over and get that one. But What the Hell's already has magic. He doesn't care about Song of Time quite as much, so... Yeah.
We'll
There's
see.
a couple of big choices.
Well, Riley can't even get to GTG right now. He doesn't have long shot. Oh wait, he could reverse.
He can reverse, yeah. Riley definitely, I mean, obviously he doesn't know where the other magic is, so he's probably thinking, okay, like, I have Strength 2, let's go see if we can beat Spirit, we can beat Deku, we can beat Fire, like, he needs Din's magic and Hovers, and he knows where one magic is.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like, you don't want to go pushing the trade quest when the item's not relevant. And right now for Riley, it's not relevant, because even if you want it for Spirit, he doesn't even have a fire source. So he can't use the magic for anything relevant. But the second, I imagine, like, the second he finds Din's, that's it, he's doing the trade quest.
I mean, it depends. To be honest, Riley might be thinking along the lines of, alright, I'm just gonna, if that magic on Bigoron is my go mode, like if it's the only thing I need to beat the seed, like if he finds Hovers and Dins, like, along the way in Spirit Temple or something like that, Then he might just say, all right, I'm going for the Bigoron magic because I know where that is. And that could be... That could lose him some time, for sure. Alright, what the hell does not have FW equipped?
The Kokiri Sword's way of the hero so we can complete Deku Tree. Because you need all 6 medallions in order to get the boss key for Ganon's Castle. And Icy Waters was hinted dead.
What the hell is this going into Ice Cavern?
Yeah, equip the bottle, not FW, so... I guess the thing is, what the hell has the magic, but right now also doesn't have any particularly good options. Like, you could go to Ganon's, I guess is probably the big one.
Progression Fire Temple.
Right, but you don't expect to find items there most of the time.
Yeah, you don't hope to find items in Fire, but... if you find, like, a strength upgrade very early in Fire and you get nothing in Ice, you might feel silly for doing Ice Cavern.
Right, I think that's like... Once you've come to Fountain and Ice, you're doing Ice, I think. Because if you were going to do Fire first, I think you would have just gone to Fire and then left afterwards to do Ice.
This is hinted Song of Time, Melrose.
Mm-hmm.
Bolero is
There's the other
locked
scale.
by Shadow.
Yeah, in Riley's shoes, he wants Song of Time because he knows that the trade item is the final prize in the Gerudo training grounds, and he knows that leads to magic. He doesn't know that there's another one sitting over on adult shooting.
We are missing Dins and Hovers, is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, here we go again.
Go mode Shadow Temple.
Fourth medallion
Always
Shadow too, with Bolero and
So, Stonewater, anybody?
I've already had Jabu, why not?
yeah. Might as well just put that stuff on HBA.
Right. I guess that's the point, is we've already had half of Jabu. We haven't finished it.
Boomerang was
Animated
in a way of the
still.
hero location.
It's fine, it's just Dins on the river chest and Hovers on Baronade. Like, what else would it be?
Alright, so Riley looks like he's gonna clear Lake here. Which is interesting considering they can do Spirit.
Songs are hard.
Riley, it's Scarecrow's song. Come on. You literally designed the song yourself. Who's in the lead? What the hell's currently? Until Riley finds the CAC archery magic, what the hell's in the lead?
Right, it's one of those things where they're following similar routes right now. Riley is further ahead in that route, but the individual things along the way that What the Hell's has done have mattered more. And that's kind of the thing with every race, right? Is like, yes, people will follow similar routes, but they'll do different thorough checks on that path. And yeah, I guess What the Hell's is... What the Hell's... That's so awkward to say. What the Hell's is have paid out more. Yeah. Sorry, what were you about to say?
What is with this sculptural hitbox? But yeah, things can change, but right now, What the Hell's is currently in the lead.
It's worth noting as well, like, just going to GTG isn't a payout for Riley. Like, What the Hell's is going to go there as well. and then we'll be able to go and do those dungeons. Whereas Riley will have to do the trade quest, which is a lot of time sunk into that.
Yeah.
No Bolero.
I
No
mean,
Epona.
there's a chance
Yeah.
What the Hells doesn't have to do GTG. If both Dins and Hovers are in Spirit Temple.
Sure. If GTG is required and has items, I don't imagine it's long before What the Hells goes there, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. That's probably his play right after Spirit, to be honest. Which I assume is the same for Riley. I think he's here primarily to pick up Scarecrow for fire in case the boss key's up there. And I think after this he's gonna head to Fire Temple. Or maybe Spirit. Maybe he's messing around with the ordering a little bit, but
Alright, here's Lab Dive, which isn't logic. We have Gold Scale.
Where was that first scale again?
It was in the remote grotto.
Oh, that was it, yeah. Okay. Thank you. So trade items in Rando, if you...
Hey, it's Winter Heart Piece.
Nice. Yeah, if you pick up the item, there's no timer. Funnily enough, if you have the Eyeball Frog and you talk to King Zora, it will start the timer. But otherwise, yeah, if you save and quit, the timer, it immediately resets to prescription. And if you warp, it will give you 1 second. So Bolero in particular has a trick to it. If you get the eye drops, you can play Bolero while not wearing the Goron tunic. And the game can only display one timer. So it displays the heat timer for being in the crater. You then have 1 second, and as long as you've warped instantly, the timer also then has to move to the corner of the screen. In that time, you roll across to get Big Goron to wake up, and immediately show him the eye drops before that 1 second runs out.
We're gonna look at Spirit Temple from What the Hell's here.
yeah, Riley chose Fire Temple to do first. What the Hells is choosing Spirit Temple. This is good. Get some
Yeah, we got
divergence
another
here.
bomb bag.
Which, if Ice Cavern strength is strength 2, is bomb locked. Just way to do a bomb bag.
I mean, River was Way of the Hero, so it had...
Yep.
So I guess... that is actually a little bit of information. Might not be relevant information, but that does tell us that at least Strength 3 is also bomb locked.
Nothing over in Crater Fairy.
Mark one had Big Goron Sword.
Cause what the hell's not done Frogs 1 yet? Oh no, he did it.
Yeah,
He had to go turn.
Yeah, they
it on,
both
so
did it.
Hmm.
I think.
Yeah, is he just not equipped?
Actually, he had
Yeah.
Scale and Serenade, so he could have just straight up skipped it.
Pretty sure he did it.
Okay, chat's telling me he did. Thank you, chat.
I do remember him getting it.
He unequipped it for ice. Okay. So, funny enough then, that's surprising. The thing that surprises me here then is that he chose to go to Spirit instead of Fire, because if you're unequipping Master Sword for ice, it would also make sense to then go into Fire to have it for the Flare Dancer.
I think
I guess-
that's pretty marginal.
Yeah, and it saves a menu potentially, but like, I guess at the same time, like, he probably was planning to go into Fire at the time. He didn't know he was getting Strength 2 in Ice, so yeah. To be fair, it's also not really routing around the pause. It's more the fact that you like, you're doing both anyway, right? You're gonna go and beat fire and then beat spirit immediately. You're doing both here, and the order doesn't matter at all. So it is just like 100% no, like, or there's no reason to do something different, other than, I guess, if What the Hells is considering clearing more of fire afterwards. His route might change if he finds Inns and Hovers in spirit.
Yeah, Flant brings up a good point. That's kind of the point I was gonna make as well. Is you do the more dense area first, and then you get a better idea of whether or not Deep Fire looks better as a play, because you don't have Bolero, and you know you're not gonna get Bolero. So, What the Hells has FW that he can leave in there, but having a better idea of whether you just want to do it in one trip.
Would you be doing Deep Fire at this point anyway, though? Like, you could be missing 4 items right now in this seed instead of 2, and I still don't think I would be doing Deep Fire anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, you'd definitely do GTG before Deep Fire. If you're
Right,
in
and
the Hells
Gannon's?
position, of course.
Yeah.
Gannon's as
Castle's
well. Like,
open.
you've got a couple of big options open that Deep Fire's pretty far away at this stage anyway.
I mean, to be honest, we're debating marginal time saves here. I don't
Yeah,
think that,
true.
like,
Yeah.
in the end, any of this actually...
It's one of those, I really like the marginal times, like the kind of stuff that people just skim over a lot of the time. In the long run, no, they don't matter. Absolutely not.
Cannon tight races.
Yeah,
I
there's
think
been
the
a couple of
closest
bracket
race-
races.
Yeah, I feel like the closest race I've ever seen was like 6 seconds difference.
Yeah.
Excluding, you know, weeklies having a bunch of ties or whatever. Yeah, the amount of time save we're talking about, What the Hell's just spent bonking on a door. So,
Alright, so nothing in spirit so far. Riley on their way up to fire.
the Marco and Bono S3 finals were great. They were combined 21 seconds. It was 11 and then 10, I think.
Find another slingshot and fire.
You know, I keep forgetting that this is a strategy in this room to just long shot to the boss key chest instead of running up and hitting the torch slug. I've got to remember that.
Never thought to do that, yeah. To be fair, I'm like a little bit boomer strats at this point. I always forget that you can hookshot to the one in fire, and that's been like... That's been a boomer strat, and I still forget to do it.
Out of agony. I think we found 3 of our 5 main items now.
Nothing in fire yet. Nothing in spirit. Now, What the Hells just went straight to spirit.
Have we seen ice arrows? I don't think we have.
Pointing out that both runners have played very well execution-wise. Riley had a pretty rough ice cavern, not gonna lie. What the Hells has definitely played better in the execution front than Riley has, and that's definitely earned him some time. But I think What the Hells has just made... It's weird, because Riley's made every right call, but What the Hells has made the same calls and has that magic, and that's the big difference right now in the leads. If Riley had that magic, we'd be looking at a very, very close race.
Right, like the 2 points there are like, yeah, the fact that we can say, oh, What the Hell's is ahead on execution because Riley had a bad ice cavern, and we're 2 hours in. We're like, oh, this one bad dungeon means what the hell's ahead speaks volumes about how good their execution has been throughout.
Yeah.
And yeah, secondly, it's like, yeah, I feel like they've both played well. They've both made all the right decisions so far. And what the hell's ahead? Because that's just how the seed has played out. This is just a case of, I don't think the decisions were wrong in any way, but the decisions haven't been right for this situation.
Riley just found Fire Temple boss key on the map chest, but he's going to continue.
I think this is gonna go to the shortcut here.
Yeah, I know Riley and a few other people are very keen on just like open the shortcut just in case you want to come back in later.
And getting bodied by the red bubble. Yeah, it's honestly like it was interesting. I asked there was a qual that had magic on the shortcut chest, and boss key was in that very chest, in the map chest, and it was very interesting listening to people's reasoning as to why they continue to the shortcut, and other people's reasoning as to why they bailed. At that point, I just said, I'm going to the shortcut from now on. I don't care what I have available. Like, if the boss key is like deep enough and fired where the shortcut isn't bad, like I'm just not risking it anymore.
And again, it's kind of one of those things where, you know, we mentioned earlier that the Season 4 meta tends to be a little more thorough, reward you for being a little more efficient with your checks. This is kind of one of those things, is like, you're playing as though you're doing everything. You're playing as though you're clearing the entire... Why did Riley attack that torchlight? What did that torchlight ever do to you?
I don't really see anything in spirit.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the point I was saying, is like, it's one of those things where you're basically assuming in every situation that you're assuming that your item is in the last location, like the absolute last thing you do, and you're trying to be as thorough as possible and efficient as possible on the way there.
He's continuing. You know what I think this might be? This might be... I went out of my way to get to Pierre before coming in here, so I'm just gonna check Pierre no matter what.
Follow your gamble.
Get a payout from it, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he stays post Pierre though. That would be a pretty interesting risk when you have all of Spirit available to you.
Right. Happy 2 hours.
Woohoo! I'm not sure, Warink. I haven't been counting. But if they have 2 keys right now, spend 1 key on the next door. You finish the dungeon with 2 keys. He already has the boss key. So there's only 1 key left in this dungeon. If that line of thinking is correct.
Yeah, I think you're right. And the other thing that means is that this isn't hoverlocked.
Alright, it's a key.
That's the last key. There is, what, Compass Chest, Megaton Hammer, Highest Goron, and Volvagia all have items.
Yeah, there was nothing in Adult Spirit.
I'm really surprised. Every time I see fire being open without, like, needing hovers, alarm bells start ringing. Like, something's off.
Yeah. Or a Spirit's a medallion.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the one that pointed out, but... Alright, so this can be interesting. I feel like What the Hells will probably bail from fire because he's got FW. And GTG is pretty big.
Mm-hmm. Right, like, that's the big thing in this situation is half of Riley's problem here is that not having the ability to, well, not having the Frostwind or the ability to use it, does mean that Riley's being a little more thorough with clearing things out. And What the Hell just has so many options right now. Like, sure, we've seen Spirit, it had nothing. We've seen pretty much all of Fire, it's had nothing so far. You've got... The big ones are GTG and Ganon's Castle. Like, those are the two big locations. But even then, like, beyond that, you've got 3 in Bottom of the Well that you can go and do. You've got, I'm sure there was something else I thought of earlier. It was like...
Well, for Riley here, GTG isn't even in logic for him right now. So, he might be thinking, I'm just gonna stay in logic, because, you know, I'm not gonna go do Baron GTG. Like, let's just say there's nothing in GTG, because it's never in logic. And, like, you get the magic from there, and, oh, there's just another magic, and you were never meant to get that magic. This might be just, like, I have Ganon's, I have, like, GTG's not in logic, but Spirit, though.
Right, for all that Riley knows, the long shot could just be in Shadow, and he never, ever gets access to that area until, he's already in go mode.
I mean, this could be important.
Strength 3 on the hammer chest.
Oh,
wow.
Whoa, okay, so the fact that Fire is not hover locked and Strength 3 is here? That's... I said it rings alarm bells, like... Calling it out, hovers in Light Trial.
He's gonna have to make another call here. He's had 2 instances where he's had the option to bail and stayed, and now he's gonna have the 3rd. Granted, he has FW, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but I think that even with FW and Deep Fire, it's not that high on your priority list.
Right.
Frostwind kind of acts as like a blessing and a curse at that point. It's like, oh, it's so easy for me to get back here, which means I won't do it now. I'll do it really late because it's so easy for me to get back anytime I want.
They also don't have bull arrows, so that might play a factor in what he decides to do.
Well, I mean, there's no guarantee that strength upgrade even leads to anything.
Right.
Like, we consider that an advantage for Riley potentially right now, but I mean, it could just be a time waster. Leads to nothing.
Right.
True? I would be surprised. The odds are definitely on the side of Strength 3 is required more often than not.
None of our strengths were in Way of the Hero locations. Hinted Way of the Hero locations.
That's true, yeah.
See, I'm thinking about this, and this actually... I feel like there's 2 ways this could pan out. Like, let's just say Riley goes to Ganon's castle after Spirit. Like, we know he's not going to find anything in Spirit, but he doesn't. And let's just say he finds both Din's and Hovers and Ganon's. Like...
He rushes to...
You go to GTG to get the frog?
Absolutely, right?
Right.
Like,
That's
because
the thing,
that would
if
be... Because, like, if What the Hell... Let's just say What the Hell's bails and doesn't get Strength 3, he's probably going to do GTG. So, like, obviously, Riley, in that case, would want GTG to have nothing. But if it does, then where are your items?
So, the thing is, like, if Riley goes and gets both of the items, he's not... I don't think he's going to do... I mean, I want to say won't do GTG. He won't open the central chest in GTG, I think, up until the point where he needs magic. When he's at the stage where magic is everything, he'll go there, he'll pick up the frog, and he'll immediately just play Serenade and go from there. But
Riley's
until
pretty-
that point, I don't think he opens that chest.
Riley's pretty close to 20. Oh,
at
hey,
18 or
Bongo.
19.
That would have been really nice for Vivagia.
The only boss that you can kill with the ice arrows drops the ice arrows.
But hey, Bongo's in Logic now.
But yeah, like, I think for Riley, though, the big thing for him right now would be... Actually, to be honest, yeah, what Riley probably wants right now is for Ganon's Castle to have both items. And because, honestly, it's more likely for him, I think, at this point, that he just rushes magic and gets to win that way, and what the hell's Mrs. Strength 3, than it is for him to
Hey,
somehow get back to CAC.
What the hell?
That is a
Miles
bail.
is bailing.
All right.
Oh, he's gonna set Forest Wind. I don't know if that was.
Yeah,
he's gonna set
he
Forest
should
Wind to go back up there.
absolutely
Yeah.
set for Roar's Wind in here.
Yeah,
100%.
if you're not opening a shortcut, you have to, right?
Yes. Okay, so that Strength 3 can be very, very dangerous for what the hell happened here. We'll just have to wait and see where they decide to go with their routing.
And this is one of the things that I think Riley in particular is very good at, that a lot of runners struggle with. Riley will know that that is his potential advantage. He will play to that Strength 3 as early as he can, I think. I would not be surprised to see him do Ganon's. I mean, ignoring how good Ganon's is, I would, even if he wanted the magic right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see him do Ganon's before Gerudo Training Grounds, just on the knowledge that, okay, this Strength 3 was in a bad location. If this is required, I'm ahead.
I mean, to be honest, Riley probably thinks they're ahead with the hammer, potentially.
That too, yeah.
Like, now just this Strength 3 and Fire, if it pays out, he could be feeling very, very good about his position.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of funny. They probably both think they have an advantage on the hammer. Obviously,
Yeah,
I
Warren-
guess what the hell
Riley is-
knows that FW is available. Riley doesn't, but
Yeah. Yeah, Warink, you always do, in my opinion, big progression like Spirit. You should always do before potentially non-required side dungeons.
yeah. Required dungeons. It's like, I know I've ranted about this one a little bit before, but like, generally speaking, I do think there is kind of like a sensible order to do things, which is progression, and that can include songs in the early game as well. You do progression, songs, logic, density. So if your hints are telling you to go somewhere logically, and you have no other direction, that's
I'm gonna be
the
right
third-
back.
Okay.
Sure thing.
But yeah, like, you want to push your requirements first, and then if you can't do any progression, you want to push your songs. And then if you've got all your songs and you're out of progression, it's like, okay, what are my hints telling me to do, and how likely is it that they're right? And then finally it's like, okay, I'm out of everything else. I'm just going to go to the best areas for checks. And that's kind of like, that's kind of been the meta for a long time. Like, that's at least the Season 2-3 meta. I don't know how much it is in Season 4, because there's a different in... Okay, but how efficient am I being? Like, should I actually be pushing density, or should I be more thorough?
Just saw 20 skulls, by the way. Nothing there. And it looks like what the hell's is gonna turn in the Poe and go Ganon's potentially. Or maybe they're just making a quick pit stop to turn the Poe in potentially, but it seems like this is Ganon's castle here.
Alright, I'm back.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah,
there was a slingshot and fire temple.
And it was early as well, so yeah. That means that could have been the first hook.
Let's see what Big Pose has. Nothing.
Yeah, it looks like what the hell's is... He's either going Child or going Ganon's here. I don't see much reason for him to go Child with Deku being Baron. So yep, it's gonna be Ganon's, and he does not have Strength 3.
Ganon's is still a really strong play, but yeah, that is it's a kind of a make or break moment for, well, I guess the first, not even the first one in this race, like the fifth make or break moment for What the Hells, but yet another one. Will he bail on Jabu? Will he go to the top of fire?
Will he bail on Ice Cavern?
Yeah. Will Riley go and do cack archery?
A lot of questions right now. I can't really say definitively who's in the lead until we see what's in Light Trial at the very least. If there's nothing in Light Trial, I think What the Hells has a pretty commanding lead until Riley gets that cack archery magic. If Light Trial has something, it's a little bit more up in the air.
Yeah.
Nice little cutscene. I don't want to say a skip, but it makes it faster if you hit the switches in that order.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have OGC as well, but it's never OGC.
I've seen it be OGC sometimes.
It's just as likely to be OGC as it is the Light Trial ones, the first Light Trial ones actually. For some reason, the second Light Trial one, despite being, you know, pretty much just Strength 3 and ZL, is actually way lower than OGC and all the other Light Trial ones. In terms of likelihood. But yeah, it's yeah, like 7 checks in Light Trial, 1 in OGC. Oh wait, 8 checks in Light Trial, I guess. Thinking keys. 8 checks in Light Trial, 1 in OGC, and I think overall to have a major item it's like 67% or something. I think to have it be Way of the Hero is still above 50. So the number is probably somewhere around 60% to be required.
Still nothing in Ganon's. The Hells cannot get a Shadow Trial 2. Does not have hovers, does not have a fire source. Can't wait for the day that chest becomes a sometime scent.
Oh yeah.
I guess it's never been relevant until now, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, like, put the condition on it being a hint is like, yeah, if the castle bridge isn't 6 medallions. What the hell's set Feroz? Oh, has Feroz equipped? I don't think this is going back to fire. I think that's setting it here and
Yeah.
abandoning fire.
No, I don't know. I think What the Hells has a pretty sick intuition.
I could see
Like-
this going either way, honestly. What the hell's the kind of player who could make that call, but
Like, he knows that there is 3 items left in
Yep.
fire.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh,
spelling
he's
it.
taking
it's
it out. That is pretty massive.
yeah, that is a
Didn't
big
even open
difference.
the shortcut.
No
So now,
shortcut,
like-
no FW now, that's long gone.
I'm honestly, I think that if light trial is required, that might be GG.
Pretty much. Probably. I don't know when you go back to fire.
The end.
I guess. What does What the Hells have left?
Yeah, but strength 3 locks 9 checked.
What does What the Hells have now? He can do GTG, a bit of Overworld. You know, bomb locked in bottom of the well, and
He can go into water.
stone water. Yeah. Beat Baronade. Like, is that it? So it's if
Well, I
strength 3 is
mean-
required, it's enough that What the Hells is behind. If it's required
I'd
for both
say so.
items, if it's required for both Dins and Hovers, I think it's enough to say that Riley would win. But if it's just the one, then there's still a hunt. There's still that potential for him to get back there in time.
Yeah. I mean, we can't really know for certain what's happening until we see light trial. I think that Riley is gonna go to Ganon's as soon as he beats Twin Rova here. Nice kill, by the way.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, I'll going to GTG now, it looks like.
Yeah, makes perfect sense from that position as well. And yeah, I imagine Riley will just safe quit straight to Ganon's.
Yeah, light trial doesn't pay out well until it does.
And I mean, considering our other options, it's pretty likely that at least one item that we need got put in light trial. I mean, one of them, you could just say, okay, GTG gets one item. Water's bad.
I mentioned earlier, like, if you do Way of the Hero analysis on spoiler logs, it comes out light trial's like 53%. And if you do major items, it's like 67% to have a major item. The thing I will say is, in my experience with light trial, it's either nothing or it's like a massive payout. It's like first hook shot or like 3 items in there. I would not be surprised to see both Dins and Hovers in light trial.
Hell's going GTG from the front here. It makes sense. You can check Hammer Rocks before going in. Can't check Wasteland if you reverse. No Epona though, so...
And Riley turning in the Poe first. I guess that makes sense in terms of efficiency. I'm trying to think of like if there's a reason you want the bottle for the blue fire, but he's already done ice, so no.
Yeah, I think it's just from a game theory standpoint, let's just say you find hover boots on big pose and Dins is in light trial, you can just bail immediately. But I mean, he doesn't have magic, so...
And also, leaving Ganon's to then turn in the Poe would be slower than leaving the Poe to go and do Ganon.
Yeah.
We are still missing a sometimes hint.
Yeah, it's the only hint we're missing, actually.
Alright, so... This is a pretty important moment in this race.
Here comes
Riley's
light trial.
going straight to light trial.
Oh, absolutely the play. So, I mean, one of the things with Ganon's efficiency is you want to start on one of the trials on the edge. If you don't have strength 3, that usually means...
Here we go!
Alien
Shield.
shield.
Okay, I was just...
Okay, another bow.
Not quite.
Hard piece.
The major
Here's-
item side's been covered at least, but... Oh. Bikies.
Arrows.
Arrows. Chest number 6.
Another bomb bag.
Way of the Hero bomb bag.
Alright, here's our
Alright,
first
chest
look
number
at
7.
GTG.
Did not get a key in there.
Oh, alright.
Not a key, so we're coming back later for those, and
Yep.
OGC.
2 left. This could be make or break for this race right here.
Who's ahead
Hell's
determines
pretty
what's on
wild.
this last check and light trial, as well as the outside Ganon's Castle Ferry.
Yeah, still 2 checks potentially. The Hells is clearing GTG right now. Make sure
Right.
to keep you updated on that front.
The thing that matters for Riley here isn't that Light Trial has something, it's that Strength 3 is required. Because that's what he's got that what the Hells hasn't. Like, that's his big advantage.
Honestly, I'd just take that key and go back to Light Trial, make a hard left, and then just route it around that way.
Probably at this point, yeah. Like, when are you going back? I'd almost want to go up at that point, though. That's awkward.
Yeah, unfortunately for Riley, though, is that the magic meter that he knows where it is would require him to do 2 stages of the trading quest, which costs a lot of time over what the hell's who's pushing ahead in GTG.
There is nothing in light trials, so OGC is the last strength 3 lock check we have.
Yikes. Also, yeah, the magic that Riley knows about will take probably, what, like 3 to 4 minutes to get? And you have a
And
4-minute timer for that one.
It's time that Riley... If there's nothing strength 3 lock, it's time that Riley really can't afford to spend.
Riley's also locked out of Shadow Trail too.
Well, that check can get very dicey for our runners. If that has like hover boots and you need to use fire arrows to get it.
Oh, God.
I think it's a key.
I don't remember
don't
what the hell's left Ganon's with the key.
I don't remember where the other
not.
key was.
Yeah, Riley's used one, and...
We'll see. If
We got this
Riley
invalidation chest left.
If Riley leaves this dungeon with 1 key, then it's not a key.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we are definitely getting to the point now where there's like these few little checks here and there that are becoming really, I don't know, scary, spicy, something like that. You know, we've got Shadow Trial second chest is a worrying one right now. Got Baronade is a worrying one right now. Like,
Man, Baronade. If Baronade somehow works its way into this seed, all bets are off.
also incoherent. I thought the same thing when I said it, but then spicy wasn't one of them.
Okay. Curse my bad memory, but we'll see in just a
That
moment.
command
if
has not
Shadow
been.
Crown 2 is a key.
So this is a star seed. OOT command hasn't been updated. It's a bonus song. And we have completed meme percents.
Hooray!
Yeah, it's a star seed. Okay, pretty sure Shadow Trail 2 is a key.
Yeah, it's a key.
Yeah. Okay. So that's good for Riley. He will know that, so... What the hell's obviously no idea.
Yep.
The downside for Riley... Wait. Did
Where is he?
Oh, he's safe quitting to go back to OGC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget about this.
There's no way that's faster, right?
I mean, he's all the way at the top. It's definitely faster for him to save warp.
And
100%.
there's bottle percent.
Warp and save quit, or save quit and then walk out.
I definitely think that this is
Yeah,
faster
it's probably
than just
about the
walking out of the
same.
castle. I mean, even
I
save
didn't know
warping
the-
and then walking out.
the walk over as well, like, it's like a couple of loading zones on the way there. It's probably about the same overall. I'd be interested to see that actually now. Like,
Riley
All right,
has
everybody.
19 skulls.
It
He
is
still
time.
doesn't have GTG in Logic.
no,
So
Yeet.
what's his play right now? After OGC?
probably a GCG anyway, right?
I don't
Right.
know. He doesn't need magic right now, and it's... I mean, granted,
That's true.
he
You don't
could
want
just
to.
be missing long shot for logic that he
He
doesn't
doesn't want-
actually need from his perspective.
He doesn't want to go
And-
there and not. No. Oh,
All right,
Frame
that
3
speed
did
does
not pay out
require-
for Riley.
we've already seen Deep Fire, so there's one of the awful
He is-
locations out the way.
He's going
That
to
was-
CAC. And this is what I was thinking when he picked up that 19th skull.
Get the skull
get-
here. He's gonna get FW and
220.
magic then. This is
Yeah,
this is
so
really, really good for Riley.
no big Goron trade quest today. So what the hell's is going to be ahead purely on progression here.
Right, I believe toilet's the key, if I've counted correctly.
Looks right. Yep.
Yep,
Oh, what else? Yep,
That one
remembering
had
the
to be as
eyeball
well.
frog.
and he doesn't need the frog, so
Yeah.
he's just going to bail.
Let's see where he goes now. You know, Dins and Hovers could end up somewhere bad that could burn what the hell's happened.
Yeah, keep in mind, like, as well, if what the hell's is, hunting down to the last few locations looking for Dins and Hovers, there is a reasonable chance that he goes all the way back up Fire just to get Strength 3 to do everything that Riley's just done for no gain. Like, there's still a lot of time that what the hell's can spend here doing absolutely nothing.
No, I don't think that What the Hell's ever just goes back to fire here. He made his commitment. What the Hell's the type of player to say, like, nah, this is what I'm doing. I'm just going to stick to it. Like,
Even if the options
he's-
like Fire or Baronade, like...
he will do Baronade and full clear Stone Water before going back to Deep Fire.
Alright. See, I thought Baronade is also that commitment he made though, right? Like, they're both that cool at that point.
I mean, he's child right now, so he's probably just gonna do Deku real quick before going back adult, just because he's already child. He did not drop FW in Jabu, Ventinor, at least from my memory.
Oh, Riley
He has-
might be... Oh, Riley! I think he's
He has
doing
FW
it.
in Jabu?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be.
Oh,
Alright,
he
he's
did?
he's
Okay.
gonna get magic.
I missed that. Thank you, chat. Sorry about that.
Oh, cool.
Alright, so this is good for Riley here,
Yeah.
obviously.
And for what the hell's, it's like, you do this, you do Lens Game, you do the rest of Bottom of the Well, and then... Do you have much else as a child other than Baronade?
We did not get a hint about HBA.
Yeah, if anything right now, it's like... tending towards them needing to swap ages. What the hell's has quite a lot to do as adult, and Riley is going child and can potentially get at least a long shot. It's terrifying when I'm referring to Stone Water as quite a lot to do.
Yeah.
I don't know, chat. From my experience, doing AD for HBA never works out.
Alright, here comes... Looks like chess mini game here. Get your bets in chat!
I
Hell's
always
gonna
go
be
for the
so
same
mad.
Lens Game.
If this is required, by the way.
Hmm?
He's gonna be so mad if this is required.
Right, made the call
'Cause he
to
just
skip
says-
over it earlier.
Because what the hells will just say, like, screw chess minigame, like, all the time, and just won't do it. And...
And then back to back going into it as well. This is
All right, you get 2 chances, everybody. Those of you who struck out on what the hells, you got 1 more chance. Get your guesses in.
Oh, just a hard manner.
Big rip.
Honestly, I've got to say, like, there's a couple of people who are there like, yo, I got this right. And honestly, with the guesses, like, there was a point where, like, the entire chat was just guesses there. Which, like,
Yeah,
I'm used to seeing a few, but never quite this many. That was impressive.
Alright, back to the
he's gonna do
well.
the bomb lock checks in here.
Yeah. I mean, what else do you have as a child, right? Baronade. That's it.
Baronade.
I wouldn't be surprised if he uses FW to go to Jabu after this.
So the other thing is, this is really, really good for Riley. He's gonna go from... He's probably gonna do the same thing, right? He'll go from here to bottom of the well, and then he'll play Minuet to go to the Deku Tree, and he'll pick up the long shot on the way. Basically, every big advantage that What the Hells has had to this point is gone. The difference is, What the Hells has done GTG, Riley has done Deep Fire into Ganon's. And
Yeah,
the
What the
question
Hells-
will then be when/if they swap.
Yeah, what the hells is in a much, much stronger position here, knowing what we know. Obviously, I don't think he's ever going to go back to Deep Fire, and we know now that it's not required. So having all of GTG done over Riley, like...
Right. Whether What the
I
Hells
just think
goes to
that-
Deep Fire or not, it's like... It's more likely that Riley does GTG than
Hey,
that...
there's Din.
Oh my
there's
god.
Din's.
Yeah. And yeah, it's way more likely that Riley does GTG than it is What the Hells does Deep Fire.
Well, alright, we are just missing hovers now. George, you want to open a bet?
Man, Casey Necro would destroy this seed.
No, like when we had the River Wave of Hero earlier, as there was like the raid coming in, I was like, yeah, perfect. And sure enough.
No, I'm not throwing shade at all. He'll do River early, get the bomb bag, and just boom.
Yeah, if you do
Doesn't
early
come back
River
anywhere.
before bottom of the well in the seed, like that's amazing.
I guess do Deku Tree, get that out of the way right now.
Yeah, you just got Dins. You can go mode it. It's required. You don't want to have to do an age change to do Deku.
Yeah.
Get your last medallion.
And that's kind of the other thing is, yeah, even without the Dins, I'm thinking you probably do this here because you're just not coming back for Baronade, ever. I think you just abandon Baronade at this point and leave.
Yeah, Baron Age was like... Well, I mean, it depends, because... What the hells have right now? Like, the first two
Water.
are Shadow? Water?
Yeah, like...
You have a potentially Way the Hero Boomerang in DC?
I mean, keep in mind, again, to bring up Fire. What the hell's missed, what, 4 checks in Fire, I think? 3 or 4? I think it was 4. So in What the Hell shoes, there are 10 checks as adult that you can just go and do right now. There's only 1 as child. That's the issue, is there's 1 very slow one as child. But if you do that now, you don't ever have to come back child. Like you're done with it. So it is kind of that position of like, do you play density or do you play efficiency? Which one is it? Do you assume it'll be in the last thing you do, or the last thing you could possibly do, and you're just gonna have to do everything, or do you assume you will find it by playing to density? We'll go with that.
If S4 has taught me anything, hovers are probably on Dark Link.
Yeah, I was thinking Darklink or River.
818 is looks really close, but what the hell's actually does have a significant lead. Riley would have to somehow find a way to not go to GTG in order to keep this as close as it is.
I still don't know if I would say significant, but yes, more than it looks, to say the least.
Yeah.
I think that an entire GTG's worth of progression is a significant lead in this case.
I think Deep Fire is also significant, though, and
Yeah.
there is still the chance that What the Hell's plays to that at some stage, because it's a lot of checks.
He had for his one set in Deep Fire, but then he dispelled it.
Yeah, I think that dispelling the FW there means, like, I'm never going to Deep Fire ever. Like, I'm just gonna lose if it's up there.
We found Hammer and
If I know
Jabu,
what the hell's enough.
but we do not know what's on Baronade.
I think What the Hell's as well is one of those players who will make those calls of like, oh, if it's here, I'm losing, so I'm never going there. But he's also the kind of player who will second guess those calls. He is constantly. I don't think I've ever heard What the Hell's do an interview where he's not been like, I was so worried about this check. Like, I was so worried about this, but I knew I couldn't go back for it. The fact that it's been this long, it's going to start weighing more and more and more. I think there is a reasonable chance What the Hell's will do fire before.
Wait, is that the first time we've ever seen Tektite Grotto?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
That is actually the first peek at that.
God, you're talking about
39 minutes.
deep stone water, Baronade, like, you haven't even checked
HBA.
Tektite Grotto.
I'm always convinced that, like, especially doing commentary, like, when you're playing the seed, you're a lot more aware of, like, okay, I still haven't done this, I've got this to go and do. I'm almost, like, every time this comes up in comms where we're like, okay, they've got, stone water, they've got Baronade, they've got the first 2 checks of Shadow. I feel like there's always something that we've forgotten about, just like lost in the middle of nowhere, and it's just like, oh, neither runner spoke to Anju this seed. Oh, well, I guess we'll go do that. Like,
I mean, another thing that we didn't consider with the Baronade play is that if you think it's AD,
right. Baronade and Stone Water is a total of 7 checks between those then, because you follow those into Epona. In a weird way, given where the long shot was, I am a little surprised Riley didn't go for it there. That's almost the point where I feel like Riley would start to feel behind. He did strike 3 and it was nothing. He's just got the long shot now, so GGG's only just been in Logic, and he knows that that's been open for ages. And, it's something we spoke about on the podcast forever ago on an episode that Riley was, like, co-hosting, is if you're making gambles, you don't take the riskiest play you can do. You don't go, okay, I've got GGG bottom of the well ice cavern, I know, I'll do water.
Riley is dipping Shadow here.
Does make sense. Riley is also the kind of person who will just do something that's progression on the way through. And this eventually will be required, so you might as well do it now. But yeah, Riley is the kind of person, I think, who will look at the play. If Riley wants to take a risk, he'll look at the play his opponent is most likely to make, and then he'll look at the next best play, and he'll do that one. So I am a little surprised to see him going towards GTG at this point, potentially. And I assume it is GTG at this point if he's going adult.
the hell's is going to water, it looks like.
It's like half his checks in the game at this point, right?
Yeah, and there's not much left. It's nice Giant's wallet.
Oh, he changed his mind.
Oh,
He's going to
okay,
also dip Shadow.
alright.
Yeah, he realized that doing water before dipping Shadow is pretty silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this was Vanilla Hovers, this was going to be very, very close.
Honestly,
Yeah, actually, that
Yeah.
would potentially be the
Come down.
swing,
Swings
wouldn't it?
everything. Because the big lead right now for what the hell, so quote-unquote lead, is the fact that he's already done all of GTG. So if it's in water, he's going to be the first one to go in there and get it.
What the hell does have the Frozen Gannons? Yeah,
Oh.
that would put him ahead, but well.
Well, Hover's not in Shadow. Alright,
I'm-
this might be Reverse Wasteland for Riley
Yeah.
into GTG.
I'm actually really surprised that Riley is doing this. It makes sense. I think it's the statistically correct play. But Riley is a very confident player. Riley tends to see himself ahead where a lot of other players wouldn't. But in this situation, I'm a little surprised if Riley thinks he's on a good track, given the strength 3.
Well, here's the way I can kind of see Riley's thinking process here. So obviously, Shadow is your last dungeon, for almost certain. So subtract 15 minutes from the current time on the timer. We're at like what, 2:29, 2:30. I don't think that that's a normal finishing time for a seed like this. So like,
But in a 1v1, you can't play to that, right?
you can actually.
But if you think your last required item is in GTG and your opponent will have already done it, and the only reason they've not finished is because they're halfway through Shadow, you still cannot go to GTG. Because if you're right, well, they're halfway through Shadow and they still beat you.
I'm thinking more along the hammer. Riley may think like, okay, what the
Oh,
hell
of
isn't
course.
done because he doesn't have the hammer from Jabu. So
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna
No,
go with the statistically best play because
Yeah, I was just thinking of it as the strength 3 and I completely skipped on the hammer part of that. Yeah, that makes a bit more sense then. Yeah, never mind.
Dins was on the bottom of the well map chest. Thinking the butt should probably be closed. Yep, thank you, George.
yeah, I think it's very fair. Like, I think GTG is definitely the best play for Riley here. We know we're not going to work
Yeah.
out, but I think that doing anything else from his perspective is just very silly.
Yeah, if I with the hammer in Jabu, that makes way more sense. Like, if you think you're behind, I think this is the wrong play to make. But Riley has a good reason to think that he might have done something that What the Hells wouldn't. Oh no!
Hey,
No.
fire arrows!
So that's, I guess Din's already put Shadow Trial
Oh, yeah.
2 in, but
Oh right, yeah.
What the Hells doesn't know that's a key.
Oh yeah, because no light. He hasn't accessed the light trial. Well, yeah. Oh, that's
Never
a
mind.
hover boot,
It's fine. It's fine.
Stone water, baby.
and that's gonna be go mode.
I wish I had copied Necro's raid message earlier. What is it?
Yeah, I'd say this is GG's for what the hell
We
happened.
love stone water or something like that.
Love
Is that it?
Waterstone.
We love water stone.
So we did have to, yeah, we had to dip AD, but oh dear. Yes, Echo. All right.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so what the hell is gonna take this one?
Yeah, very comfortably ahead at this point. Again, yeah, Riley did make all the right plays, honestly. Just one of those ones where they both took a couple of big gambles where it was like, oh, this is a really tough decision, what do you do? They both found the hammer in the rang chest. Riley found strength 3 and fire, and that didn't pay off, and yeah. Here we are, Riley, basically clearing everything before Stone, Water, and Baronade. And What the Hell's just just going to Stone Water before Deep Fire and dodging all of Light Trial.
Yeah.
This has been a really fun race, though. This has been
Oh yeah.
just all over the place in terms of options, in terms of the decision making. Like, there's been so many things open at all times, and so many points where, like, even when they've had a clear-cut choice, you know, oh, you just go to Ice Cavern because Fountain's Way of the hero, you know you get something there, and it's like, but do you actually do Ice Cavern or not? Like, there's been so many moments where it's like, you know where to go, but not what to do once you're there. I love that. That's exactly what you want in a race, I think.
Trying to figure out what, like, besides the obvious thing, like Strain 3 checks and Deep Fire, but I'm trying to figure out where Riley lost as much time as they did. Their execution hasn't been the best. They did have a pretty rough Ice Cavern, but I mean, there's no way that that's the entire difference.
I guess the thing is that he's done... So he did Deep Fire, so we're talking the upper maze into the, like, hammer chest area and everything. And then Light Trial and then OGC. So that is probably... That plus, like, a bit of an execution difference is probably about a dungeon. Like, that's half a fire already.
Did we ever say bet winners? I don't think so.
I would be surprised if there was anything exactly right, but at the same time...
A lot of people get some checks in water.
Yeah, they were low enough on locations that maybe...
I saw like 4 different Dark Links in there. A lot of people know the S4 meta.
Right, I saw a lot of water, but most of it was Dark Link or River Chest.
Yeah, my bet was River Chest.
It's not a real tournament race if you're not nervous.
What the hell's made a lot of really difficult calls, and they all worked out well for him. He could have bailed an Ice Cavern and missed that strength upgrade. He could have not done anything in Jabu.
Done Deep Fire and got that strength upgrade. Yeah. It's actually worked out very nicely. Like, even down to, like, getting the long shot early, so knowing that GGG was in logic, but also getting the magic so he knows that he doesn't have to go there anytime soon. Like, it all played out very nicely in that regard.
You have to remember to X for what the hell's his thought process for Jabu, and I guess Ice Cavern too. I'm very interested to hear.
Jabu for both of them is definitely the big one, because they were in such different positions as well. Like, there's a world of difference between going into Jabu with and without FW. So for them to both come out going, I'm going to do these 3 checks but not Baronade, is really interesting. That's definitely, like, the big one in my mind now. And right, like, it is worth noting here, like, firstly, double elimination tournament. So, you know, Riley still has another shot going forward here. Where will Riley go in this one? Oh, we'll face the winner of Gavaroni and Necro?
Interesting.
Ooh, that is a rough draw on that end. So, damn, that whole area of the bracket is just so brutal. But, firstly, yes, double elimination tournament. Riley is still definitely able to play this out from here. And yeah, like honestly, the decisions that Riley made sense.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Riley that Strength 3 didn't lead to anything.
Right, another seed, this would have been a win for Riley. And we'd have been in exactly the same position, but we would have been saying, like, oh, Riley's just ahead and doing Go Mode Shadow, and what the hell's is just doesn't have the time to come back into it. If you just swap a couple of items, you know, you just swap the bow in Light Trial with the Dins in Bottom of the Well.
Right. Yeah.
Not taking anything away from What the Hell's, obviously.
No,
Not
no,
at
it's
all.
been an incredibly good race on both sides, and it's
That's just
it
the
is exactly
difference
that.
between Fire
It's-
Strength 3. Yeah.
It is rando. It is rando doing rando, and that is,
Absolutely.
in a way, normally if people talk about like rando being rando, it's a bad thing. It's like, oh, the RNG screwed everything and it was in some awful location. And I guess it kind of is with Water Temple today. But at some point you have to make a decision, and in this seed, the decisions really mattered, and there were multiple of them, and those decisions went in What the Hell's favor. Like, Riley is not going to be upset with this race, but What the Hell's deserves the win in this race. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, this honestly is exactly what you want a rando race to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
even with
outside
Hook
of
and
my
Irons
important,
being
but
early.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it still doesn't make Stonewater any more attractive of a play.
Yeah,
Unless
it's
you're
still,
like, I'm just gonna go for it. Like, I'm shooting for the moon here.
it is
Yep,
still
Riley's
4
going
very
water.
slow checks. Yeah,
Yep, Riley's going to water now, it looks like.
makes sense. And what Riley is now in the position that What the Hell's was in. This is like half of Riley's checks remaining, if not more actually, because What the Hell's had 4 or 5 in Deep Fire. Riley has this, and then 2 others maybe. Oh, getting to skip the maze in Go Mode Shadow. That's a rarity.
Yeah, unfortunately, What the Hell's... I don't think... No, he doesn't have enough time to sub 3 because of cutscenes, but he should get
Mm.
probably the low to mid 3-hour time here. 304 maybe? 305?
Yeah, I was gonna say
FW
like
up in Ganon, so...
301, 302 I could definitely see here, but probably not the sub 3.
Yeah.
Just between Bongo spawning and dying and all the Ganon scenes. And, yeah.
Well, Lurker, I think that What the Hells might actually think that this is an execution race here. Because I think every, like, play that What the Hells has made, if he can justify it, then, like, somebody else can justify it. And he's also done all of GTG, which, like, I don't think he'll think there's any way anybody skips it, so...
And he came close to last locationing the hovers. So for all he knows, Strength 3 is just an amazing shadow. And there's no way to get baited. You, like...
Yeah.
It is going to be funny because, yeah, I mentioned earlier, What the Hell's definitely has a habit of going into every race going like, oh, I was so nervous, I thought I was behind, like, every single one. And it is going to be interesting to see if there was a point in this seed where he felt ahead.
Yeah.
I feel like that is the standard 1v1 mentality, though. Like, everybody does that in a 1v1, where they're like, my opponent makes absolutely no mistakes, and they've found everything I've found, but they've also done every location I've not done. Like, whenever you have a decision to make, your opponent somehow miraculously does both in the same amount of time.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Oh, we got it.
Oh, you got it? Cool.
Yeah.
It's a wonky angle there, but...
Yeah. There's the hovers.
So what the hell's... Yeah, pretty much an entire Shadow Temple ahead. Maybe even more.
What the hell's remembering the boss key? Honestly, that's like one of the most impressive. Like, even now, even after this long, it's so easy to forget to go to Temple of Time when you don't have Prelude.
Especially if you have FW and Ganon's.
Right? Yeah, just go straight there, get to the top, and you're like, wait a second, there's a door here.
Nice Iron Nux kill for what the hells.
All those synchronized death cries, and you just get both of them on the exact same. Also, yeah, Forest is, I think, the fastest one to go to. And then I think it's actually close between Spirit and Shadow as the second. Assuming Shadow's already open.
Right.
So I think the messing up your opponent's name for the file name strategy is something that we all should take notice of and steal, because clearly that's
That's
brings up the
what's
hells of
done
luck.
it, yeah.
It artificially changes the seed's RNG.
Just the beta quest where you put in the file name, that determines the seed. Yep. That's how it works. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, no. Like, it is always fun seeing every match of What the Hells and being like, what's he gonna call the file name today? Like, how's he gonna mess up the opponent's name? These
Alright,
two
What the
did play
Hells?
in Majora's Mask, and it was really, at that point, it was Riley with 2 L's.
Alright, What the Hell's starting his Ganon fight. Riley making their way through Shadow. Unfortunately, we'll probably only get to the Crusher room before What the Hell's has this wrapped up.
The Hell's file name today is Riley, but RYLEIGH. And, yeah, in Majora's Mask, Riley won. Riley beat Riley. But, you know, like, going in, there was a little bit of, like, yeah, friendly trash talking between these two. Where it was like, Riley, how do you feel about facing What the Hells? He was like, beat him in MM, I can do it again. That's fine. So I guess in Zelda rando tournaments now, they're 1-1.
Yeah.
Have to see which game they pick up next to get the third match in.
There's the last crouch stab. GG's to What the Hells. Gonna be moving on in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, so What the Hells will move on to face the winner of 818 or Fantatank. And yep, Riley will drop down to face the winner of Gavaroni or KC Neck.
There it is. What else happened is finished in first place with a time of 3 hours, 2 minutes, and 17 seconds. GG.
Absolutely great race, that one. That was incredible.
And we are joined by Riley and What the Hell's Happened. GG, guys.
Hey, it's people. What's up?
Yo.
GG, Riley.
Yo, GG, what the hells?
Before we say
Great.
anything, I do want to quickly point out that Riley actually did finish the seat while guessing while I'm guessing
I was bored.
the
I
race
need
room
go
was
mode.
15
catching up.
minutes, go mode. Yeah, why not?
But yeah, that does actually have bracket implication because there have been incidents. I don't want to say like this happened, but there have been incidents before where like something happened like afterwards that was found, and then if you finish a
Right.
seed, then that does matter. So just
Yeah,
want to
like-
point that out.
Yeah. So if, like, example, somebody gets DQ'd, then
Yep.
if you forfeit, you can't really get them.
Yeah,
But
that's
Right.
That-
Yeah.
was an incredible race. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it was really good.
How did you both feel throughout that? Like, I guess we'll get that
I-
first. Like,
I
how was
honestly
it from
felt
the player end?
I honestly felt pretty good, to be honest. So it's kind of a shame.
Yeah, I felt like I was playing well, but I felt maybe at the start I was playing overly safe because every time you do Cuckoos and Skullmask and there's nothing, it feels horrible. Especially when you get the hint after. But
Oh,
Yeah,
there's a hint.
Yeah, there was a hint at
Near
the
the
it was
lab
at
in
the
Lake.
lab.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
you
never
both
got that
did chickens at about the same time.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, well,
So can I get the questions rolling here? There's one question I really want to ask to both of you. Both of you went to Jabu in very different positions. Riley was missing both Magic and Furor's Wind, while what the hell's you had them both. What was
Mhm.
your reasoning to dip Jabu when you did?
just it was checks, and we didn't have that much. Like that's what I told Riley because he just asked me, and I think we had ice at that point, and we had like some rant. There wasn't anything really anywhere to commit, and I was even thinking like, what could there be in Fountain that I would want to rush that much? Like maybe if there was a strength, it could have been Forest, but I think we still have six or seven items left at that point. So.
I did all of that before I touched Forest at all. So like I went in, I had Hook and Bow in my adult, and I decided to go Child instead. I'm like, I don't have strength. Like I know I have to go turn in letters. Fountain's way to hero, so I'll go do that first. I get the strength on Chew Bowling first. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. And then I go up, turn in letter, do domain. I'm like, I should probably just dip Jabu. Like the first 3 checks aren't terrible here. Fountain's way the hero. I know I'm gonna have to do it, so I just went into Jabu, saved, and then checked Fountain Fairy. If it was nothing, I was gonna scum and do the checks in Jabu, since like the first 3 are really not terrible, to be honest. And I was bailing no matter what there, and Hammer just happened to show up, so that was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's interesting is that What the Hells actually did not have the strength from Bombchu Bowling when he went up to Jabu. He didn't have enough money to do it, so he routed
Yeah.
Bombchu Bowling at the end of his route.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and then he dipped Forest without the strength, got the
Okay.
slingshot, and was able to get the long shot pretty early.
Yeah.
I guess I
yeah,
have
that-
to ask there, what the hell's? Do you think you would have done the Jabu dip if you'd picked up the strength first?
I was thinking probably to Jabu dip the whole time because there was also that potential that it could be Way of the Hero, the boomerang. But then,
Right.
like, I did Child Spirit, and all of a sudden, like, well, fuck me, long shot's Way of the Hero because everyone loves that key. And then, but then that's the thing. There wasn't really anything to commit to anyway at that point. I was gonna do the 3 first checks, no matter what. That's why I didn't even do Zora's Fountain before. Because I was thinking, like, there's nothing that's going to make me change my mind, I don't think. So I'll just do it all with Ice Cavern as adult after Jabu. And I wasn't expecting anything anymore. I was like, well, fuck, I dipped Jabu. And then Hammer, not Boomerang Lock. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that-
So
Yeah. Interesting.
the other, I don't even know if it was the next big decision, but one of the other big decisions that really made the difference here, I think. Fire Temple. So Riley, you went up and full cleared it,
Yep.
while what the hell's you set FW after getting the boss key without opening the shortcut, and then almost immediately got rid of your FW when you went to cannons. So, like, have you spoken about this one? Do you know?
Yeah, Riley told me there was strength 3.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was probably the biggest difference, honestly, is like the strength 3 there into light trial, into everything there was like,
Yeah. I feel like that's most of the time difference is me going like doing all of Deep Fire, which is another like 4-ish minutes, and then doing like trials and stuff. But yeah.
Where was it? Which chest?
Hammer chest.
Oh, God.
yeah. So I guess again, what were the decisions there? Why did you know,
I felt ahead,
effectively do
so
the
that's
things you
why I
did?
went there. To be honest, that's the only reason I did Deep Fire. So I was like, I'm kind of feeling ahead, and then I got like I went and set Scarecrow, so I was like I set up for everything, and then I got 3 keys in the middle maze. I'm like, I'll just keep going at this point. Like I'm already here, might as well commit. And without Bolero, also, I feel like it's like obviously it's a bit risky since I knew I had all of Spirit to do as well, but it just felt not a bad play at the time. So
you did Fire before Spirit, okay?
Yeah, because the Spirit was like all of the like it was so out of logic, or like there's so much stuff that would like you needed Fire Source, you needed like I had nothing of that at that point, so like I was just like I'll just put it off, since like if I can get Go mode before I go Spirit, that's pretty fast. So
And what the
Yeah.
hell? Why did you leave when you did then? Out of curiosity.
Well, I had Ferrari, so I was just thinking I'm gonna come back later. I was thinking GTG in my mind, like okay, we're probably going to GTG, and I wanted to at least go to Trials. But like once I was in Trials, I was thinking like I really like setting up W in the tower,
Mhm.
and at that point I'm in Trials and I know I'm going to GTG. So then it's just the debate, like okay, well, when am I going back to Fire anyway? And I also wanted to do like the well before I go to Deku. Like I knew that was almost kind of like progression, because I'm
Mhm.
thinking when I go Child, I basically have no more checks left. So I'm gonna do the well. So all that I knew I wanted to do before Fire. So I'm thinking at that point, I might as well just set it in the tower here, because Fire is just gonna be at the end at this point anyway.
yeah, that's why I went.
Nice.
That's why I went Child before I committed to anything. I just like I never had GTG access the whole time, so that's why I just kind of put it off for the longest time. And
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was
yeah, because I
actually
didn't have long
gonna-
shot.
I actually
Yeah.
wanted to ask you. We were worried that, like, okay, maybe Riley, like, finds one item. Maybe like hover boots are in light trial or whatever. So now it becomes this race of like, okay, well, if Riley finds Dins, does he just say like, screw everything and go get the eyeball frog and do the Bigoron quest for magic? Like, it's this. We were wrestling with this notion that like, okay, like, is this Bigoron magic actually going to hurt Riley? Because like,
Wait, where was the other magic again?
Kakarot Tree. I got it
Oh,
really,
yeah,
really,
yeah,
really
yeah.
late. Yeah, I got it like
Yeah.
post trials. I think I want to say.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, so I did
Yeah.
because I would never really real reason to just go back to do that one check, since I got the bow and DMT on my way up to Goron City stuff, because I did it after DC, not before.
Yeah, no, one of the things that did also come up quite a lot during a race is your usual playstyles. It's quite funny that we're saying this, because there was a point where I was like saying that I thought Riley would feel behind because of the strength 3 play, until Sponge pointed out the hammer in Jabu. But it's quite funny because we said, like, typically speaking, Riley, in a race, you're very confident that you're always at least on track to be ahead. Like, you tend to be fairly confident in your races. And what the hell is, you tend to always think you're behind, like, every time. was like, Riley, I guess you've already said that you felt
Oh.
are we being shuffled around because the restream's breaking? Don't worry.
Yeah, I've just moved
we're
everyone in and out of the voice call trying to fix the bot, because the bot's having issues. The bot is like messing up everyone. 1 second, one last. There you go, that's everyone. So that should hopefully fix the icons. Sorry about that.
Okay. But yeah, so, you know, Riley, you've already touched on the fact that, yeah, you felt ahead, which is why you did the fire play. How, I guess, what the hell did you feel like, especially ahead or behind at any particular points, or was it just kind of do what
No.
happens?
Honestly, I was thinking like this Jabu is a like I felt like I think I was gonna do Jabu like no matter who I was playing, no matter if it was a qual or not. But after I got it, I was thinking like Riley probably did this too, because of like maybe Boomerang's way the hero, and like maybe it's not like that crazy of a gamble, I don't think, because you're there with that Boomerang you got in a way the hero area, and you have to open up the fountain anyway, and it's still early enough that you need so many items. So like I didn't think I made like that bold of a play. I thought it was there was a real possibility like we both did it.
We said, we were talking a bit towards the end there about the 1v1 mindset, that your opponent both does everything you did, but also does everything you thought about doing and chose not to.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like after GTG was like the big one that felt kind of like maybe like, and then like I got the hovers and water. I'm like, okay, like that plus hammers, like those are two kind of like not good items. So I was like, okay, maybe I still have a chance. But yeah, no, like I think I had six checks left in logic, I want to say, when I got those hovers. So
that seems about right. We were trying to think of what it would be, and it was like water,
3 in field,
Baronade,
and the 2 in deep water.
Oh, you hadn't done the field ones, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, what the hell side it was not having done deep fire instead.
Yeah.
Plus everything gold locked. Yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah,
then,
basically at the point where you all hit go mode, we had 2 more things in water and Baronade, and that was it from our side.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess the last big thing that always we have to talk about. So what the hell's? You'll be moving on to face the winner of 818 and Fanta Tanked.
ooh,
Any thoughts on those? Any
like we were saying earlier, that Fanta might be the new Juke. Like, he has the same,
Oh, okay.
same sense of humor, same kind of skill in bingo. He likes to post Monka S and Kek W.
Sponge, you mentioned before that Fanta is the new Phoenix Feather, but Phoenix Feather is also still the new Phoenix Feather.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. Fanta is like Juke's protege or something right now, and he's like building up Juke's legacy.
Yeah, he's a bin god who improved really fast at rando, and then Kevin is just a super grinder that's improving like every day.
I was going to say that one's kind of a fun one because like both of them are relatively new to the rando community, so if you've got that metagaming instinct or those kind of like, oh, this player is more likely to do these things, so I should play around like these things, that information's a little harder to come by for these two.
Yeah, because they're both new and they're both from 2 different backgrounds. Like one of them just started with rando and started grinding, and the other one's been playing like for a while, but with the vanilla OoT stuff. So it should be interesting. Should be a good match.
And Riley, you get the winner of Gavaroni and KC Necro.
Yep.
Yikes.
I'm gonna go in same way. Play my game, see what happens. I don't intend to change how I play, and if people want to metagame or like play differently of how because I play, bring it on. That I don't intend on changing how I play, and I don't think I'm readable that much in terms of how I play. I play a bit safe, but sometimes you never know.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll prioritize Stonewater higher moving forward?
No.
I was going to say, do you think you'll prioritize Adult River if you're against Necro?
No.
Oh shit.
Would have worked today.
Yeah, that's one thing I actually wanted to ask. How early did you go get that bomb bag?
I think it was at the end.
Yeah, it was one of the last few checks we had left in Logic when you guys got it.
Okay.
It was so bad. Like every time I'm like, dude, is the bomb bag really gonna be in Zora's River Sphere 0? And then just keep going check after check after check, and there's nothing. And then yep, there it is.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was what was gonna happen.
There's that slight like instead of like I went up DMT. There was that slight time where I thought like maybe I'll just go up river, and play Requiem at the top, and then just it resets my time of day perfectly. Go Temple of Time from there, but I ended up just going up DMT with storms.
You had very similar early games. That was basically the only big difference there was what the hells had done Night Market, got into like Market and did Richard and things like that, while you'd gone up DMT and peaked and got the Storms Grotto and everything.
Yeah, I thought I was letter up there at first, like up top of DMT. I'm like, oh shit, let's go.
So did we. Also die at least.
Oh, that's a good idea.
See for me too.
Yeah. I know, like it's one of those checks. I feel like if it's a bomb bag, one of those days, like I like to peek it pretty early compared to a lot of people. If you have early adult CAC, and one of those days it's going to be like explosives or something, and that's massive.
I think that's really good. Like, because you could just say, like, especially since we had Song of Storms, you could just say, okay, you'll do Graveyard into Roof Guy into Buy a Shield into just go up the mountain and save warp. Since the save warp was in Temple of Time, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. But I played Requiem out of it instead, and then went to Temple of Time from there, because, But...
Which did mean leaving behind Richard for a little bit longer, but
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really
worst
matter.
thing. You didn't have strength too, so yeah, it didn't end up mattering.
I was like planning my route. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get rupees off the bridge. I can buy a shield. So I can go do forest after I got the strength on bomb tree bowling, and it just got me. So I'm like, oh, sick. That makes it easier.
You even touched the wrong dog in the process.
Dude, I had to make like a to run away to escape from stupid brown dog.
All right. Well,
Right?
looks like everything that all the questions have been asked. So if Chad has any questions, then now would be the appropriate time because we are about to wrap up here. But what a race it's been again. The Star Special strikes again. Still not as bad as the Olia race, so let's be real.
Honestly, I like again, just like as a last thing for me, like really GG's, and this was such a good race from this perspective because there were decisions constantly throughout the seed and they mattered. They were like every single one was like a decision where if you made the wrong call, it would cost you a lot of time. So this was fantastic to watch, and you both played it incredibly.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you.
Right. Before we head out here, just want to thank everyone for making this possible. Obviously, what the hell is happening, right? I give them a follow for being part of this tournament, showing us what they can do. Obviously, both of them still proceeding in this tournament, as this is a double elimination tournament. Also, thank you so much to you. The commentator thing is inaccurate right now. I'm just gonna show everyone, but that's fine. Give a follow for Yoshi, Lazy, and Jimbo as well for commentating today. Sorry, not lazy. Lazy's tracking, I think. Sorry about that. Misread there.
Right.
Misread there. But also, yeah, Lazy. Tracking today, Lazy and Sadie Sweet. Making sure that whenever somebody's hopping in the stream, they know the state of things. They know what items everyone has, keeping that accurate. But yeah, that's it from us. We'll be sending you all over to a raid. First, any final words we can end the stream on that?
Thanks for commentating.
Yep. Again, GG's.
Yeah, thanks for everyone involved. It's been really, really fun.
All right. See ya.
Bye.